And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live in the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, the 2023 election results are in. You have some things that are kind of disappointing, but in my humble opinion, there's nothing really surprising about what we're seeing. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the story I kind of previewed on the last show, the Alabama mayor and pastor, Bubba Copeland, deleted himself while being followed by police on a simple welfare check. Why did he delete himself? At that moment, did he think they had something else that he might have been trying to hide over the past few years? We'll talk about that story a little bit more a little bit later. Also, did you see the story I put out about the Chicago couple who was charged beyond $50,000 because they were overpaid in Social Security? Although they put forward all the documentation, they put forward everything that they were supposed to do, did everything by the book, but they're still being penalized. 50 grand, and they got to pay it in 30 days. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, California John Wick, Los Angeles John Wick. Two home invaders approach him. He's able to delete the threat almost. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. This is also a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms at 8 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow morning. So check me out on Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. And of course, shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to my websites, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website. Check it on out. Check it on out. Link will be in the box. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. We have articles for each video that I produce. And in those articles, you're able to find links that back up what I'm saying, full videos, whatever you need, it'll be right there on the front page of the website in the individual articles, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact. You can find my email address, my snail mail address, my Facebook, Twitter, not going to call it X, Instagram. All those links will be right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact. And as I always say in every single stream, please, 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 if you ever think that you are conversing with me about something crazy like Bitcoin, Forex, some kind of get-rich-quick scheme, here's a clue. That's not me. So don't send anybody your money. I'm never going to ask you to send me some Bitcoin or some kind of random thing like that. If you want to contribute to the show, if you want to give to the channel, there are links on the website, and there are links right here in the description section. Do not ever, 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 do not ever check the comment section for a way to contribute to the show. Don't do it, because that's not going to be me. It's going to be some Nigerian dude with 18 syllables in his first and last name, respectively. Okay, so a combination of 36 syllables in his first and last name, right? It's going to be a bunch of A's and U's and everything else. Or it's going to be somebody that weighs 5,400 pounds, the size of a Toyota Tundra, a Ford F-150, a Ram 1500. He's going to weigh that size and live in Lithuania somewhere. He's going to be on the ground on his iPad trying to finesse, finagle, swindle you out of your hard-earned money. Please, oh, please, oh, please, don't do it. I'm not going to ask you for anything crazy. I don't know anything about Bitcoin or Forex, so please protect yourself and be mindful of the YouTube comments, all right? So, again, if you ever want to double-check, cross-reference, and make sure you're speaking to me, just go to the website. All my contact information is right there, all right? So, again, AnthonyBLogan.com. And, of course, y'all go to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Their link will be in the description with my other links, or just visit the website through your browser, patriotpost.us. All right, we got a whole lot going on. There are quite a few videos. We got some breaking news. We got a little bit of everything going on. Some crazy stuff happening, and quite frankly, I don't know where to start. Again, thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. And you know what I want to do right now? I kind of want to start off a little hot. Now, a story that I've been watching that I have not covered for a very specific reason, that is the whole thing with the trans manifesto. Remember what happened in Nashville with the transgender shooter? What's her name? Audrey or Arbery? Y'all know what I'm talking about. She, biological XX woman, right? Who identified as a male, but a biological XX woman, shot up the Covenant School, and she left a manifesto. Now, the manifesto, in my humble opinion, should be made public. All of it. Now, if it's not going to be made public, I have a question. Why? What's the reason? Why have we not seen this go public? And before I continue, the reason why I'm doing it now, and shout out to you, Boomhauer, I see you in the chat. The reason why I'm doing it right now on the stream is because YouTube is a little bit more lax with the stream. If you put out a video dedicated to it, they're able to censor it. So I'm kind of able to get around it this way. And I've also been able to retweet it on Twitter. Twitter, you can do whatever you want. But YouTube, Facebook, right when Steven Crowder and before I get into it, I know I'm kind of hopping around a little bit, but y'all please bear with me. Steven Crowder, I know I've said some things about Crowder and his personal life or whatever, but I'm going to put that over there, okay? I have to address it because I know people are going to address it. I got to address it, but what he's doing right here by releasing the manifesto, he has cojones of steel. You understand? This guy is one of the bravest people in the world to do this, because I knew right when he did it, it was going to be a problem. It was going to open a big can of worms. Oh, man, look, because he released those pages, 7 officers have been put on desk duty, basically. Let me pull up an article right quick. And I know I'm kind of hopping around, but we got to get to what's happening. So let's go to New York Post, shall we? Let's go to New York Post. Now, the police department out there in Nashville have confirmed that the leak is real. The police chief out there is trying to get down to the bottom of how it happened and what are the details. So the pages that were released are real. Now it's a matter of who did it, why they do it, did anybody get paid? That's pretty much what they're trying to figure out now. All right. Now let's continue here. Let's get straight to it. Hold on. Let me pull up this and that. All right. One more time. There we go. All these ads on these websites. I mean, good night. So look, here we go. This is New York Post. 7 Nashville detectives suspended after unauthorized leak of school shooter Audrey Hale's alleged writings. And again, just so we are on the same page, Steven Crowder put these out. Can I pause this, please, New York Times? Okay. So Crowder put these out. All right. Now, I'm going to read some of this, and then we're going to continue. But the headline says, 7 Nashville detectives suspended after unauthorized leak of school shooter Audrey Hale's alleged writings. 7. Now, one of these pages says, today is the day. Yes, the day has finally come. I can't believe it is here. Don't know how I was able to get this far, but here I am. I'm a little nervous, but excited too. Been excited for the past 2 weeks. There were several times I could have been caught, especially back in the summer of 2021. None of that matters now. I'm almost an hour plus 7 minutes away. Can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm ready. Hope my victims aren't. My only fear is if anything goes wrong, I'll do my best to prevent any of this sort. God, let my wrath take over my anxiety. It might be 10 minutes tops. It might be 3 to 7. It's going to go quick. I hope I have a high death count, ready to die. This is a page from the manifesto. Now, there was a lot more, and shout out to Candace Owens as well, because she had another source. Now, remember, Candace Owens lives in Nashville. Daily Wire, they're based in Nashville. So this is in their backyard. Candace Owens had a source contact her and said, this, as far as what Crowder is released, is real, but it's only the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more. They had videos. They had all kind of stuff from Audrey Hale. This is just a piece of it. And there's an investigation launched. Facebook and YouTube censored videos that contain this. And the reason why they did that is because of, I want to say, is because of liability. YouTube did not give Crowder a strike, but the video he had, they took down because they probably didn't want the smoke that comes from it. Facebook, I believe it was the same thing. They didn't want that smoke, the political smoke. So when you got YouTube afraid, that tells you that Crowder is very, very, very brave to do what he did. So hats off to Steven Crowder. He gets all the credit in the world for blowing this story wide open, because we were all wondering, where is the manifesto? Release the manifesto. So to get 3 pages from it is a big deal. Now, there's allegations that Crowder got, not Crowder, pardon me. There's allegations that one of the officers got paid here. That's not to say that Crowder paid him, but there's an allegation or a question if one of the officers got paid to release these pages. Now, I mean, that could be true. It might not be true. It's hard to tell. But from my point of view, we're getting somewhere. Because what Crowder did is now going to open up a can of worms. The can of worms is not just him getting in trouble. It's not just the social media websites trying to censor it. It's also other guys being brave and being emboldened to come forward with what they know. That's very important. So yeah, shout out to Steven Crowder. I mean, hey, I have my differences with what some other stuff, some unrelated stuff, but that's totally irrelevant. He gets all the credit in the world. Without him, I'm not quite sure this would have happened. And I don't know what it was. Maybe somebody in the Mud Club just decided to step up. Maybe somebody had an inside source, a connection. I have no idea. But he was able to make it happen. So shout out to him. Shout out to him. Now, there's another article here. Let me pull this up right quick. So Nashville shooter writings, what MNPD chief John Drake says about unauthorized release. And MN, that's Metro Nashville Police Department. So Nashville Chief of Police John Drake has issued a statement following the unauthorized release of what conservative media personality Steven Crowder said were documents from the Covenant school shooter online on Monday. Quote, I am greatly disturbed by today's unauthorized release of 3 pages of writings from the Covenant shooter, said Drake in the release. This police department is extremely serious about the investigation to identify the person responsible. Drake said the release of the document showed a total disregard for Covenant families as well as the court system, which currently have control of the shooter's journals due to litigation filed earlier this year. Quote, we are not at liberty to release the journals until the courts rule. Our police department looks forward to the ultimate resolution of the litigation concerning the journals. So, I mean, my thing is, what's the holdup? Why is it a litigation issue? Why can't you release it? What's the problem? But you see right there that he admitted that these are real documents and they're trying to track down the source. Who did it? Who released it? How? And as of right now, like I showed you in the first one here, let's go back to this headline. New York Post, 7 Nashville detectives suspended after unauthorized leak of school shooter Audrey Hale's alleged writings. So this is real. You got some guys getting in trouble, but I wish nobody got in trouble. I wish that this was just put out there without having to go through all this. But you got a bunch of brave men that said, you know what, forget it. The public is owed this, and we're going to just throw it on out there. So that's what's up. Hey, now YouTube can't come for me, Kelly, because I'm reading from New York Post, and this is a Tennessean. So if they want to say, hey, ABL's putting out stuff you shouldn't put out, I'm reading from these news websites. So if they come after me, they got to come after the Tennessean. And the Tennessean is a very legitimate newspaper in Tennessee, very well known. I'm very familiar with them. I know guys over there at the Tennessean. And New York Post, obviously, same thing. New York Post. And by this point, this is everywhere. This is all over the place. This is just news at this point. So I'm able to speak on it to a certain extent. They might want to, if I put out a video speaking about this specifically, they might want to try to downrank it. They might want to try to hide it, or they might even take it down. But speaking about this in a live stream format, they ain't gonna do nothing with it. So again, shout out to Stephen Crowder for putting it out there. This guy, I'm telling you, cojones, steel, brass, aluminum, like diamond, platinum, whatever. He made it happen. But now, speaking about the manifesto, there was a lot. Candace Owens did a video on this and added context. And part of what she said, I won't play her whole thing. It was like a half hour long, and I heard the entire thing. But part of what she said was that the shooter alleged to have been sexually abused. Is anybody surprised? Is anybody surprised? Now, I'm not sure if the abuse came from the Covenant School or where, but obviously that's probably what happened. I mean, you have somebody, a young girl, who is confused about who she wants to be, don't know if she wanted to be a boy or a girl, is going out here committing mass shootings. And I'm willing to bet there was some medication involved, some kind of drugs involved, some mood altering type of stuff going on. Because it's always the same pattern. It's always with mass shooters that go and just shoot a school up or whatever. It's always, well, I don't want to say always, but it's usually some identifying qualities they all have in common. Mental illness, past trauma, loner. But the main thing is mental illness. And if you have mental illness combined with some of the drugs, which a lot of these guys have been on, that's going to create a hostile situation. Because what they end up doing is create euphoria behind the concept of taking your own life. That's why a lot of these drugs that don't have side effect, thoughts of self-harm, things of that nature. That's probably what went on here with this young lady and with the guy in Maine and with the Vegas shooter, perhaps. We can go on and on and on and on. It's always the same. Not always, but you understand what I mean. It's more often the same than not, unfortunately. And I think by studying the manifesto and figuring out what this person had going on in their personal life, you'd be able to possibly prevent some of these things. The federales or the local police went to the main shooter's house like a month and some change before he did what he did, because they feared he might do what he did. So at a certain point, we can kind of understand, we know some of the signs. And after every shooting, we see the same thing, same kind of patterns. Not always the exact same thing. Might be a male, might be a female, might be a little bit younger, might be a little bit older, but the patterns are very similar. We're able to see how the whole thing works. They want to talk gun control, but it's like gun control. Is gun control going to fix what you saw in the manifesto? obvious signs of mental illness, planning, and everything else. Because, I mean, we've seen the one guy in Colorado, remember him, the guy that did not do the mass shooting, deleted himself in the bathroom. This guy had grenades and he had IEDs in his car. So obviously a gun ban does not make a difference. My man had IEDs. And if you don't know what an IED is, that's an improvised explosive device. You can make these things in your house. Homemade bombs, basically. Just taking electronics and this ingredient, that ingredient, now you got a bomb. And if you strap that into your vehicle, you got a suicide bomber. You can just, oh, pardon me. I know now I'm going to get the YouTube people in here. Oh, but you got to censor it now. We're getting the self-deletion bombers to drive a vehicle through a place and Allahu Akbar, and it's a wrap. So how are you really going to stop that? What you should do is focus on the mental illness and that kind of thing, get down to the core of that to prevent these people from going over the edge. That's what I would do. Oh, Boomhauer, these are the same glasses, Boomhauer, just different lighting. So yeah, again, shout out Stephen Crowder for releasing the manifesto. Shout out to Candace Owens for adding some more context. And shout out to the brave officers from Metro Nashville Police Department for doing this. If you guys did it, shout out to you for doing it if you did it. I'm not saying they did because I don't know anything other than what I'm reading on the internet. I don't have any kind of inside connection to what's happening. I wish I did, but I don't. If anyone is responsible for leaking this, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you. And I think the federales or somebody, could have been the news media, could have been somebody or some people were trying to get Crowder to release the source. He was like, nope, not going to do it. So shout out to Crowder for not being a coward, for not giving up the sources, for not folding and putting it out there and being the front man here. Okay, I'm taking the bullets. I'm gonna be the guy that takes whatever kind of damage comes as a result of this. So that's what's happening. All right, now speaking about human shields and whatnot, this might be kind of an inappropriate transition, but let's talk about the 2023 election results, shall we? Now, did you guys have an election where you are in your neck of the woods? Y'all let me know. And did the election go the way that it should have? Did it go a different way? Y'all let me know how the election went. And I got a few more videos I'm going to play here in a minute, but let's talk about Kentucky right quick. People are so confused. How did the Democrat Andy Beshear win over Daniel Cameron, the Republican? Daniel Cameron, backed by Donald Trump. Some said that was a problem. They say Kentucky is not MAGA country. This is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous thing to say. Kentucky is MAGA country, 100%. I live right here. I'm in Tennessee. Kentucky's just right up there. Okay, it's like, what, 2.5, 3 hours away? Not even that far. It's not far at all. Okay, Louisville, all of that is right up the street. I can drive from my house to Louisville and be there in about 3.5, 4 hours tops, probably about 3.5. It's not far. I've gone there before in my vehicle from my house. All right. So it's mega country for sure. But I think the Democrat governor, Andy Beshear, first of all, he was the incumbent. So he already won in 2019. So what was the excuse in 2019? Was the excuse that the incumbent Republican governor was a Trump pick and didn't do things right? He was already the incumbent. I'm seeing all kind of excuses made, and the excuses are saying that the Republicans weren't good candidates. Maybe Kentuckians like Andy Beshear. Okay, maybe they like him and his whole family, just maybe. He has a very high approval rating, and I've not seen anything that would make people in Kentucky want to vote for someone else. So why would they get rid of him? I don't understand. It's weird. It may be kind of confusing how a red state like Kentucky will have a Democrat governor, But Kentucky is like West Virginia. It's very similar. Once you're in the eastern part of Kentucky, like once you get past Louisville, to the east, that's mountains. That's straight Appalachia. Really, that's straight Appalachia. Southern Ohio, the entirety of West Virginia, Western Virginia, Eastern Tennessee, even the north part of Georgia, Alabama. That's all Appalachia. It's very similar. This is the reason why you have your man, Joe Manchin, in West Virginia, a Democrat. It's the same thing. You would think that West Virginia, like straight MAGA country, all red, there would be nobody Democrat in office, but they've had Democrat governors recently. They got a Democratic senator. He's been there for a long time. It's not always so cut and dry the way that one may think. It's not always that way. Now, Georgia, a little bit different, obviously, because of Atlanta, but there is no Atlanta in Kentucky or West Virginia or Ohio. And then Ohio, of course, you had the abortion issue. I'm going to get to that in a minute, but let's go back. Thank you, Sly. Lexington, not Louisville. Yeah, East Lexington. That's where I was recently. Louisville, that's further out west. I meant Lexington. Thank you for that. Actually, where's Louisville? I think Louisville might be further up north. Let me just make sure I've got my geography right. Yeah, I think that's further. Yeah, that's further out west. Lexington is where I was. I went to Lexington recently when I drove to West Virginia. So I went up straight past Knoxville and into straight up 75 into Richmond at the Buc-ee's right there, stop right there. Then I could park right in Lexington and then drive over 64 and go to West Virginia. So I pass through Huntington and then I go straight to Charleston. It's right there. Easy, straight shot, not too mountainous. It's pretty easy. But anyway, thank you for the correction. But back to Kentucky, I think that Andy Beshear was just a governor that they liked. There was no real reason to get him out of office. One thing about these red states like Appalachia, it's very poor. There's quite a few things I'm gonna talk about, but the poverty is serious. Like in the eastern part of Kentucky, the entirety of West Virginia, the poverty is real. Up in these mountains and these hollers in these mountains, man, they need checks. You got entire towns that would not exist without the checks coming from the federal government, without assistance, without government assistance. A lot of these towns would simply not be there. And the reason why is because a lot of them were coal towns and they shutting the coal mines down. Therefore, there's no industry. There's nothing. There are all kind of towns all over the world that have been abandoned, and most of them were abandoned because whatever industry was there dried up. The only reason why a large part of West Virginia and Kentucky are not totally abandoned is because of the government. That's the only reason. That's the only way they're able to stay there. That's it. Okay. And West Virginia is already small anyway. You in the entire state of West Virginia, you have 2 million people, and it's going down every year. People get older and they don't want to, they try to go to somewhere. They might go to Ohio. They might go further. Like they might go up to Chicago, Detroit, somewhere else. The government is keeping them afloat. So if you are a Republican and you're talking about slashing government benefits, small government, it's just, it makes no sense to somebody who lives in the holler where there's literally no industry. The only thing that's there might be a Dollar General. That's it. Without the checks, they have nothing. But again, the reason is because of the federal government closing the coal mines down. That's it. But let me continue. So why do you guys think that Daniel Cameron lost to Andy Beshear, the Democrat? And again, Daniel Cameron, he is the Republican Attorney General. Some are going to say because he's black, but he was already the Attorney General and got elected in Kentucky. So That's one thing. Some are going to say because Trump endorsed him, but Kentucky is MAGA country. You think Kentucky will vote for Joe Biden over Donald Trump? I think not. You think Kentucky will vote for even a guy like Lindsey Graham or who else? Chris Christie or Ron DeSantis over Trump? I think not. So what's the reason? Some say it's because of the whole Breonna Taylor thing. Oh, he's not putting out documentation and all this and that over the Breonna Taylor case. I think not, because nobody will do anything about Breonna Taylor. Not Andy Beshear, not Daniel Cameron, nobody. Nobody would do anything about Breonna Taylor because, let me tell you about Breonna Taylor right quick. And shout out to my man I met who was part of that raid. Shout out to you, boss. But what happened with Breonna Taylor is when the police approached the house and they're knocking on the door, knock, 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 the boyfriend shoots first. The police return fire. Now, the original story was the police shot Breonna Taylor in her bed and she was sleeping. Nonsense. What happened was they were in an apartment, and if you know about apartments, a lot of them have just these narrow hallways, right? You come into an apartment, it might be kind of an open area where it's a kitchen, living room. Then it's a narrow hallway where it's a bathroom, a bedroom, another bedroom. That's typical apartment. That's kind of where they were. So they're in a narrow hallway. Now, he is shooting. Now, if they're both in a narrow hallway and he's shooting, then how is it that when the police return fire, she got shot up, but he didn't get shot? How did that happen? If they're both in a narrow hallway, he shoots first. When they shoot back, he doesn't get shot, but she does. The story that people want to say, oh, they were shooting indiscriminately. If they shot indiscriminate, then why did she get shot while he didn't if he was in front? If they're shooting indiscriminate, he should have been shot and not her if he got shot at all, because he should have been in front of her. If it's a narrow hallway, you can't have them side by side. And if you're going to shoot the police, you don't want to have her anywhere near you. And if anything, she's going to be behind you. You can't have her in front and then shoot over her, because that'll absolutely be a human shield. That's like holding a shield and then shooting from behind. So that'd be a human shield. But here's what happened. They're both in the hallway because they hear the noise. He shoots. They shoot back. He takes her, pushes her in front of him, and he dips out. She gets shot up. He doesn't get shot. He used her as a human shield to escape. That's what happened. So really, if you want to blame anybody, you got to blame the boyfriend, not the police. The police got shot at. They returned fire. He places her in his place. He's able to dip out the back. So he didn't get shot. He lives. She dies. If it's indiscriminate, then explain how he didn't get hit if he shot first while she got shot up and died. It makes no sense. Makes no sense. So yeah, that's what happened. That's what wound up happening. And people want to blame Daniel Cameron for not releasing certain things. And they say, oh, that's the reason why he lost the election. Andy Beshear is not going to do anything different or better as a governor for that whole case. That case should be open and shut. But of course, it's one of those Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot things. It's one of those things like with George Floyd, right? People say, oh, the police killed him. No, they didn't. This man was high on drugs. This man was high on drugs, and that's why he died. Okay? The fentanyl has killed 100,000 people in 1 year. You think that he is just the one guy who didn't die from a lethal dose of the same drug that killed 100,000 Americans in 1 year? Let's stop playing. Let's stop playing. I mean, come on. What are we talking about? So that's all I got to say about that. Now, Ohio. Let's talk about Ohio right quick. Now, this is really unfortunate. They passed an amendment that basically enshrines the right to abortion in the state of Ohio. Now, people are kind of shocked. Like, how can this happen? I thought Ohio was more of a conservative place and they shouldn't be celebrating abortion. Look, if you ask me, I don't think we should be celebrating abortion. If I could be the king, y'all know how I do. If I could be the king and I could rule by fiat, I would say no abortion. I mean, you got to be able to prove that the mom's going to die right there at that moment. You got to have evidence that the mom is going to die if the baby is not aborted. And even in that case, I'm like, well, I mean, let's make a decision here. But see, that's me. I know my stance on it is unrealistic, unfortunately. And the reason why is because the issue of abortion has gone so long. Abortion has been going on for so long in this country, it's become normalized. This is part of the reason why you got to nip things in the bud right when things begin to go bad, right when things start to go left, nip it in the bud to ensure that it doesn't get worse, to ensure that it doesn't become part of society to the point where when you try to end it after 100 years, 50 years, it's not this terrible thing that can never, that you got to have bloodshed in the streets and things of this nature to be able to stop it. Okay? Nip it in the bud so it doesn't become this monster. As of right now, the abortion issue in, I would say, most states nationwide, most states, is going to be a losing issue, unfortunately. Should it be? I don't think so. But is it? I believe it is. And that is what's going on in Ohio. They passed that and they have enshrined the right to abortion. But let's be clear here. Let's understand what's going on with this country. Understand what Trump did with Roe v. Wade. And what I mean by Trump, I'm talking about Trump being in office and being able to appoint 3 conservative Supreme Court justices. Let's understand what he did with Roe v. Wade. What he did was send the issue of abortion back to the states. So the states can do this. If California says, okay, no abortion until, well, that's California. They're going to say, we're going to allow all abortion up until the point of birth. That's what they have the right to do. Because when you repeal Roe v. Wade, or when you just take that away, the right of abortion goes to the states. If Alabama says 0 abortion, that's their right. If this state has this law, if this state has that law, that's their right. If you want to go and try to make things a federal situation, now you get into bad territory. Let's say I was a president and I had the right, which you don't, but let's say I had the right to outlaw abortion nationwide. What'll happen is if someone else had that same power, like let's say I get out of office, somebody else comes in and then they say, okay, all abortion is all rights to abortion are going to be enshrined nationwide up until birth, nationwide. That right there would be a problem. So when you take away Roe v. Wade, the issue of abortion goes to the states. And you got to be able to understand the temperature of your state. Do they want abortion up to a certain point at all? What do your constituents want? You got to be able to understand that. And if you bet on the wrong thing and you campaign on that, that is a losing strategy. And again, if it was me, I would say nothing. But just because I may want it does not mean it makes sense to run on that in a place where the people don't want it. If the people want abortion up until a certain point, that's what it is. If you don't run on that, you're not going to win. If the other guy does, then he may win. Andy Beshear ran on abortion, and guess what happened? He won. Now, Daniel Cameron, I'm not really sure if that's what he ran on. I don't think he really had a strong stance on it, which probably was a smart idea. Unfortunately, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it just is what it is. So that was an issue that really impacted a lot of elections. It impacted Ohio, obviously. It impacted Kentucky, most likely. It impacted Virginia. Now, Virginia, and before I continue, remember the OnlyFans girl from Virginia? I did a story about her, Susanna Gibson. Susanna Gibson running for the Virginia State House. I made a mistake in my video saying that it was the U.S. House. No, she ran for the she ran for the Virginia State House. She barely, I'm talking about barely, lost her election. It was close. She was hanging in there for a while. She was on OnlyFans. Not even OnlyFans. She was on a website similar to that, an X-rated website. Put it to you that way, without getting too violent into the details. We got little kids watching, but she almost won her election. Luckily, she did not win. Her name is Susanna Gibson out there in Virginia. Now, what happened in Virginia? You have a 140 seat legislature, their House and Senate. They call it the House of Delegates and the Senate. Now, I believe that Republicans held the House of Delegates, but not the Senate before the election. Now, Democrats have the House and the Senate. So the governor, Glenn Youngkin, is trying to push an abortion ban, like 15-week abortion ban. He can't do it because now you got Democrats in office. Remember, understand Virginia for a minute. Virginia is a blue state. When I was a kid growing up in Virginia, Virginia was solid red. As I said in my video, I was a nerd, an old man as a young boy. I was a 10-year-old, 40-year-old. I was watching the news in the morning. I was watching the weather. I might as well coffee right here. Like, what's going on with the weather? I was that kid getting ready for school, listening to the news. Okay, it's 10 past the hour. I was that kid listening to that kind of stuff. But on election night, I would watch. Every election I watched as a kid, I say going back to about at least 8 years old, probably even earlier than that, I watched the election, and then I would see, really I was watching to see what Virginia did. And every year, or every time they have a national election, Virginia was red. But then right around Obama time, it began to change. Purple, and I think by the end of Obama, it was solid blue. I was like, yep, it happened. And the reason why Virginia is solid blue is because of Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia, this is Arlington, where your man was, and we'll get to him in a minute. Arlington, Fairfax, Loudoun, all that good stuff. Alexandria, all the way down to Hood Bridge, a.k.a. Woodbridge, down to Mechanicsville, even over to West Virginia in the Panhandle, Harpers Ferry, Berkeley Springs, whatever it is over there, right? West Virginia is like also a D.C. bedroom. They got a train from Harpers Ferry to D.C. It takes you an hour to get from point A to point B. Real talk. But anyway, that's all D.C. inspired. A lot of leftists, a lot of just, it's like San Francisco, but not as much drug use. Not as urban. It's more, it's a suburban San Francisco. Put it to you that way. San Fran, you got all the inner city stuff with a bunch of liberals in one spot and a bunch of tech bros and a bunch of big money tech bros. But Northern Virginia is more spread out. It's HOA hell. You got guys that work for the federales. You got FBI agents that might want to spy on you, that might want to look on your computer and see what you got going on. You got guys that target you if you're conservative and you posted a meme from Fox News. That's who lives in Northern Virginia. And that's why the politics of the state are the way they are. And that's why the state went from red when I was a youngin' to blue. That's why. And the people up there, I hate. Not you guys, if you live in Northern Virginia. You guys are fantastic. Love you. But the normie, liberal, mouth breathers, HOA presidents out there, I hate with a deep-seated passion. I'm sorry, that's the wrong word. I don't want to say hate. I was told to not say that. I strongly dislike these individuals. But that's what's happening with the elections. I know there were more. There were some victories, of course. There was an election in Long Island, New York. And we took that over as far as conservatives. We took it over in New York. So I'm glad that happened. There were some victories there in the election, but some of the disappointments I saw coming. I most certainly saw it coming. And speaking of some of these cities, I gotta play. Hold on. I gotta play one of the places I mentioned, Northern Virginia. And then San Fran. You guys may have seen this in my video. And please pardon the cursing. It's not my fault. Literally blame the white man for this. All right. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. Now, this is the kind of guy you're going to run into in Northern Virginia all day long. And it's expensive. These nice houses, 1.1, 1.5. Oh, yeah, you're going to spend an arm and a leg in your firstborn child in Alexandria, Annandale, Reston, Alexandria, all these places. Yeah, you're going to spend every dollar in your pocket to live up there, for sure. Years ago, I saw a poll. Hold on. Let's put it on the screen. I saw a toll, not a poll. I saw the toll on the road to go on the bridge. This had to have been about 10 years ago. It was like $6 one way for a toll years ago. And I shudder to think what it is now. That toll is probably $20 now. A toll to go on a road. Years ago, it was like $6. I'm sure now it's like $20. And if you live up there in Northern Virginia, you know what I'm talking about. It might be over there by not Eastern Shore, but by the Northern Neck. If you know what I'm talking about, over that way. Like if you go past the Beltway and you drive down to like Tappahannock, go in that direction, it's a toll, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let's just play this video right here, and you're going to see the kind of guys that inhabit Northern Virginia.
When you fucking people tried to overthrow the election, you might as well have been walking up to my head on the way to the polling station, putting a gun in my head, trying to tell me not to vote.
Now, a little bit of context. So this guy is confronting a Republican poll greeter. All right. The guy that he's confronting is named Matthew Hurt. Matthew was out there doing a typical poll greeting. When you go to a place to vote, he's the kind of guy that will hand you a sample ballot. Hey, how you doing? You coming to vote? Here's a sample ballot. Would you like one? He's that guy. Okay. Now, the guy with the wrinkled up blue, powder blue shirt with the sticker, I just voted, he started talking crazy to the guy before he went to vote. And then when he came out, he was continuing talking crazy. So this guy has a bunch of pent up frustration from watching MS-13 DNC, CNN, all the other alphabet letter news outlets, newspapers, social media. He got pent up frustration and wants to vent on this guy because in Northern Virginia, it's probably not very common to see open conservatives.
You expect me to not take that fucking personally? You fucking try to overthrow elections with violence, and then you're out here among decent people.
Thanks for
now. Pardon the cursing.
What do you have to say that, huh? What are your policy prescriptions?
Have a nice day. You've already
fucking rapist rights.
Yeah.
Involving yourself in people's fucking families and their fucking bedrooms.
It's pretty wild.
You fucking animal.
And they always, as I said in my video, they always do that. Always. Whenever they say something crazy, they want to start cussing at you. They might even throw something at you. They always say that and then walk away. So if you try to approach them after that, then you're in the wrong for hitting them from behind. Oh, well, I was walking away. I didn't want to. They always do that. I hate that. It's like, how about this? How about just leave me alone so there's no kind of confrontation? How about that? Just go vote. Get back in your Prius and go back to your house.
You try to steal my vote next year, I'm going to fucking remember you personally.
Thank you.
In fact, I'm taking a fucking picture of you.
Oh.
Is that all right?
Yeah, you
Permission?
can. Yeah. It's a one-party consent state.
Shitbird. Yeah, one-party state. You want a fucking one-party country is what you want.
Hey, sir, how are you? Headed in to vote?
Yeah.
Could I get a Republican sample ballot? Sure, thank you.
You know, try not to be buddy-buddy with these people because they put on the face of a good neighbor. But they support lynch mobs or the fucking KKK. Or they're fucking Bible-beating bigots and freaks. Yeah, they're not good neighbors.
So there you have it. My man just trying to hand out. You see, you got the ballots right there. Just trying to hand out ballots, trying to be a nice neighbor. And this is the kind of thing that he gets in return. Okay, all these F-bombs, all this and that, walking away, the passive aggressive. That's what they do. That right there, that was Arlington, Virginia, Northern Virginia, DC suburbs. That you're going to experience that kind of stuff out there. You want to be an open conservative out there, and they think that you're not necessarily going to beat them up, then you're going to get that kind of energy. Now, that's part of the reason why I'm glad I live down here. I don't experience that kind of nonsense. It is all good. Most guys and girls you run into down here are going to be more conservative leaning. They might even be some leftists you run into, but they're cool. It's just people get along. Up there in those neck of the woods, it's not quite that way. You got stone cold stomp down leftists. And I forgot, I was making the point about the governor race. Ralph Northam, the governor before, Glenn Youngkin, he was talking about allowing he was talking about allowing abortions up until the point of birth. And remember, Ralph Northam is a doctor. Ralph Northam, the former governor of Virginia, is a doctor. Okay, hold on. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing here. Like, Rand Paul's a doctor, but he's an ophthalmologist. He does eye surgeries. Ralph Northam is a pediatric neurosurgeon. This guy was a governor of Virginia, a Democrat, of course, and he was trying to allow abortion up until the point of birth. My man, you are a literal brain surgeon. You don't know that a baby is a baby at 9 months gestation? I mean, come on. That is the kind of thing that we were battling in Virginia at one point. That kind of madness. A literal brain surgeon saying point of birth abortions is totally fine. So when you have Glenn Youngkin come in, first of all, I was surprised when they elected Glenn Youngkin. I was totally surprised. I was like, wow, really? Virginia? Is that what we, a Republican in Virginia in 2021 or whenever that was? Totally surprised. But him trying to initiate a 15-week abortion ban, it was kind of a non-starter, unfortunately. It's hard to go from at the point of birth abortions from a brain surgeon to a ban. All right, let's keep on going here. We got a lot to get through. There's a whole lot going on. I'm going to play another video from the other side of the map. What you just saw was my man in Arlington, Virginia, Northern Virginia, DC suburbs. Now, this video you probably saw already of my man over there in San Francisco. All right, recording himself on his little laptop, old school style, in his house, talking about how you conservatives are so weak and soft for not wanting to go to San Francisco. And he's saying, hey man, it's great you guys don't want to come. He says that San Fran is better when you guys and myself, when we don't come, because who wants to have any MAGAs out there in San Fran ruining the vibe, right? But let's see what he says in a follow-up video.
Almost 70% of people who identify as Republicans think that San Francisco is just an absolute violent hellhole, and they would never come here for $1 million because it's not safe. So those people don't come here to visit. I saw a guy get almost beaten to death last night.
So you go from talking about how it's a joke and people don't want to come there, it's not really a big deal, all these Republicans are so scared to come to San Francisco. Meanwhile, you live there and you saw somebody almost get stumped into wine, almost stumped and deleted. You saw that. You saw 10 to 15 guys stomp somebody down, blood everywhere. They might have died. But hey, if you're conservative and you say you don't want to go there, you're just a coward, right? Now, as I said in my video, I've never seen anyone get stomped out in front of me in Tennessee. I've never seen that. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I've never seen it. I've never just been outside going to the grocery store and then see some gang pile up on somebody and stomp them mercilessly till they get blood spurting everywhere. I've never seen that before.
We got jumped by a group of 10 to 15 people.
Which is fucking fantastic.
I haven't seen that much blood in a very, very long time.
Republicans in the United States are so goddamn terrified of San Francisco based on bullshit.
But I came home just covered in that guy's blood, man.
So was he covered in the guy's blood? How did you get covered in the blood? I mean, were they beating them that bad to where it was just spraying on you and you couldn't really escape it? Was it like raining blood? How did that really happen? I don't really know. But yeah, we're terrified of San Francisco. But I mean, judging from your own words, it's not very safe. It's not very safe. And you know what I think is going on is that a bunch of these drug crazed people out there just started tweaking and decided to just have a collective tweak session. And then somebody might have lost their life as a result. And you got drenched in the blood.
Somebody else was asking me in the comments if he was okay. I don't know. He never regained consciousness while I was there.
That they refused to visit San Francisco, which who do I send my thank you card to for that?
And I was there long enough for the ambulance to show up, and you know, they put a collar on him, got him onto a backboard, and got him up onto a gurney. But he didn't regain consciousness while I was still there, so I don't know if he's okay.
Do I just send it to Tucker Carlson?
Hey, you guys are funny. Is that Alf? Is that you guys in the chat are saying that's Alf? That's crazy. That's totally crazy. Shout out to all the 80s babies out there that know who Alf is and remember. And if you don't know who Alf is, hold on. I'm gonna show you guys Alf right quick, all right? Because we got to see what's going on. I'm gonna show you. Man, wait, hold on. This right here is perfect. The Hawaiian type shirt. All right. Y'all give me a second. So is that your man right there? Is that him? That might be him. So shout out to Alf for making the comeback in 2023. All right. Let's keep on going here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff.
And Joe Rogan and Sean Hannity, thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it immensely.
It was a hell of a thing to see, man.
I don't want those people coming here to visit. It's much nicer here when those people don't come here to visit.
It's going to take a couple days to process that.
It's great. It's fucking amazing.
But no, I have no idea what started it. I walked out from getting tacos and saw the middle of it and saw him go down and everybody just descend on him. And just obliterate the guy with hands and fists and feet and boots.
All this laughing and stuff came to an end. But it's always like this, you know, they start laughing, then they start crying. Then they start having to really figure out what's going on in their life. When they experience a thing like this, when they get traumatized with life like this, then it stops being funny. then it becomes serious. Then they got to start to think about it. But this guy, I'm not quite sure how old he is. He might be a little bit up there in age. He might not be able to have a red pill moment. A lot of us may have experienced certain things in our life that made us have red pill moments. This guy, hopefully he had one. If he didn't have one, hey, that's on him. You know, I mean, at a certain point, we can warn you about certain things that could happen in your city. We could give you anecdotes, statistics. We could do all that. But if you don't want to believe it, even when you see it, what can I do to help you? Not much.
Dumb, gullible, loud, mean, easily manipulated, easily separated from their money.
Now, that was a point that I had to really stop on. So you're talking about Republicans. We're dumb, easily manipulated, gullible, and separated from money very easily. My man, you're living in San Francisco, one of the most expensive places in the world. Your taxes, oh my goodness. your tax, like, I'm not sure what you do for a living, how much money you, I'm not trying to pocket watch here, but my man, your state income tax is through the roof. Try buying a gallon of gas. Can you guys even have gas stoves out there? Like, what is going on in California? California is, the California virus is just ridiculous, and it's creating a domino effect throughout the country. You guys have overinflated housing, and what's happening is that you guys are able to get money for some reason, and from the bank, you're able to sell your homes for $1 trillion and take that money and spread your madness throughout the country. A lot of money you get. You take a California money, which is overinflated, like China devaluing their currency. You take that money and take it to Tennessee and Florida and buy people out of their properties, buy neighborhoods up, and spread your nonsense there. I hate it. You guys can become your own country and stay over there. If you live in California right now, shout out to you for watching the show. I appreciate you. If you watch ABL live, you get a free citizenship from California when we just kick you out the union. We're going to kick them out the union. If you watch ABL live, you get a free membership into the union. How about that?
It was an awful, awful, awful thing to see. It was an awful thing to see.
Hashtag MAGA.
Hashtag MAGA. I mean, that right there, that's the old guy. Hashtag MAGA. He thought that was a great way to put a button on the video that's going to go viral on the TikToks and everything. Oh, you went viral, sir, for the wrong reason. You went viral for the absolute wrong reason. All right. So, hey, that's how that works. Shout out to you, man. Hopefully you're able to learn something from it. Maybe the people who were talking about San Fran not being a very safe place to be, not being what it used to be. And let's be clear, San Fran, a lot of these cities that are bad are beautiful places. San Fran, beautiful. Chicago, beautiful. New York can be beautiful. Los Angeles, it can be beautiful depending upon where you are. But the crime, the drug use, the homelessness, the expense, there are problems in these cities. Just because you might find a beautiful corner of the city to take a picture in or to hang out, eat some food in, does not mean that the problems in the city are not there. The problems are there. You can be in certain parts of the city and be totally fine. You go to Chicago and be totally fine in downtown for the most part, but go just a few minutes away from there and it gets different. If you're in downtown at the wrong time, it gets a little bit different. If you're in certain parts of San Francisco, you're down by the water, it's beautiful. All of a sudden, your rental car is being smashed into, and within moments, your beautiful little getaway just went left. Okay, you got your tourist DSLR camera in the car. You got all kind of personal belongings, your car keys is all gone. 2 minutes. So that happened, but beyond that, it's beautiful, right? Beautiful place to be. You call the police, they ain't gonna come. Is anybody bleeding? Nope. Okay, thank you. Good night. That's how that works. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh yeah, DC can also be beautiful. Last time I was in DC has been years ago. Last time I was in DC was before J6. This was 2020, last time I was in DC. But I grew up going to DC because I'm from Virginia. I got a lot of family in DC, so I grew up going there. To me, it's nothing. I've been to the city and outside the city a million times. DC can look nice, but the last time I was there, boarded up, storefronts. When I was there, I saw the evidence of Antifa rioting, and it wasn't very nice. What I also saw in DC was very strange. Each city has its own little issues. When I go to Atlanta and I go to downtown, certain parts of downtown, you're going to see some tents here and there. Not very many, not like Los Angeles or San Francisco, but you're going to see some of that. You're going to see some crackheads kind of scattering a little bit here and there. But they're kind of older. If you go to a gas station at night in Atlanta, sometimes you're going to see the young guys with the ski masks on. But sometimes you're going to see guys that's like my age or older at the gas station begging for money. Old heads, unks at the gas station begging for money. It's crazy. But when I was in DC, I was seeing young people. I'm talking about teenagers homeless. It was crazy. I was like, what is going on? I'm talking about you get up in the morning, 6 a.m., 5 a.m., or if it's late at night, and you walking around DC, you looking in a certain like storefronts, like it could be a Wells Fargo or something like that at the ATM. If it's a door right there, you'll see somebody that's like 16 years old with a book bag sleeping. It's crazy. Yeah, it's weird depending upon where you go. Now, if I go to San Francisco, what I'm going to see is an open air drug market. I'm going to see all kind of garbage and other things on the ground. I'm going to see a mess in San Fran. I've never seen anything like that anywhere else in real life. The only place like that, Tenderloin or whatever in San Fran, is Philly, Kensington. But even in Kensington, it's not that bad. You don't see all the excrement necessarily on the ground as you do in San Fran. I don't believe there's a human poop map in Philly, but there is in San Fran. But I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, what I have right here, I might not be able to play it, but maybe I will, okay? Now, in Panama, there was a climate protest that shut the road down, okay? Now, my man right here was not having it. He was not having it. It's like, look, you guys are in the road. You guys are in the way. I don't like this. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my pistol and shoot you. That's right. My man right here said enough. All right. This is a real picture of my man shooting a climate protester. Now, obviously, you don't see anybody getting shot, but the camera work, hey, man, look. To be clear, ABL doesn't advocate violence. I'm not trying to say it's okay or it's cool or it's anything of the sort. So let's be clear. But this shot, man, I don't want to be like double entendre. This photograph, put it to you like that, is crazy. You got the clear view of the pistol and the shell flying out of the pistol right by his head. I mean, you couldn't get a better frame. You couldn't get a better frame. Now, I also have, that's right, Young Patriotic American, great meme format. That's right. Somebody said the KFC guy went rogue con. The KFC guy said, enough, enough. You're not protesting me. I'm trying to get to the restaurant and deliver all these spices and herbs to put into the batter. Y'all in the way. Boom, boom, pow. Take that. Now, I have video. Now, I'm going to try to play it. And if it gets to blasting, I may cut it. So let's try to watch it here. Okay, it's probably going to be edited. It says a driver trying to get past an environmental demonstration pulls a gun on protesters. Oh, there you go. Whoa, wait a minute. That went from 0 to 100 real quick. And remember, this is Panama. All right, this is Panama. So he has a gun and he is just, moving a little banner out the way first. He threatens the people who are protesting against the controversial government mining contract. Look, you know what? I'll tell you what. They're doing way too much talking. If I am first of all, I'm not going to have rocks in the ground and be blocking the road. I'm not going to do all that. Okay. To be clear, what's happening here is that they're blocking the road for the guys that cannot see the actual picture. I'm not going to be doing all that talking. If the man pull a pistol on me, all right, man, you got it. Don't even worry about it. I'm going to go over here. I'm not trying to lose my life over a climate protest, but they get weird like that. They glue themselves to the ground and they don't think, okay, at a certain point, I got to get up. So maybe it's the same kind of thought process. Like, hey, I'm going to argue with the guy with the gun because this protest is more valuable than my life. I don't understand. I'm sorry. It ain't that deep to me. I would never be in this situation. The finger is on the trigger. The finger is on the trigger, and it's been on the trigger the whole time. He's not doing the gun discipline. He's not doing the trigger discipline, nothing like that. He's not doing that. He's got it like this. He's got it ready to rock. One false move, Paw gonna go pow pow. You understand? The gunman then proceeds to shoot two demonstrators. No! One person died at the scene, the other passed at the hospital. The gunman was taken away by police. Now, okay, what I want to know is, did the protest end at this point or not? Because I think, okay, if I see my two compadres get deleted right there, all right, you know what? We've gone too far. Protest over, right? That's what I would think. But maybe I'm just being maybe I'm being a tad bit too logical. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm being a tad bit too logical. I don't know, man. Like, it's not that deep. I'm not trying to put my life on the line for a protest. And remember, to summarize what happened, this was in Panama, and the protest was over a mining contract. So they blocked the road to prevent drivers from going forward. They had rocks and sticks and all that kind of stuff like that in the road. And my man was like, you know what? Forget about it. No handcuffs. You know what? They know that he probably did the good. I don't want to say that. I'm sorry. So you see, like, all this debris and stuff in the road. They got sticks and rocks and logs and everything else. and you got backed up traffic, probably for miles. My man said, enough, no more. So yeah, hey, it's unfortunate, man, but you know, at a certain point, it's a lesson, really. Don't try to argue with the guy with a gun. All that arguing and stuff is not going to help you. It's just not going to go very well. If I'm not armed and you armed, hey man, you got it. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna go over here. I'm not trying to lose my life over this. It can't be that deep. You know, if you're just asking that I get out the road, you get out the road. So my man is 77 years old, and they were blocking the Pan American Highway in Panama. So that's what happened. All right, but if you like what you're hearing so far, somebody says John Claus Wick at it again. Shout out to John Claus Wick. But if you like the video, share. If you like what you're hearing so far, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And speaking of John Wick, did you guys see the California John Wick? Now, this guy was protecting his home from home invaders out there in Los Angeles. And I hope my man doesn't get charged, because I could see this going the opposite direction. I could see it going the wrong way because of a couple of things. First of all, it's California, like enough said. But second of all, I think he shot at one of the guys as running away. So they may try to say that you can't do that, which shouldn't be the case. Look, if you run up on me in my driveway with a gun and you're trying to get into my home or you're trying to hurt me, whatever I do at that point, it should be fine. Whatever I do at that point should be fine, because I'm minding my business. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm just trying to go home. You got not one but two guys armed trying to do something to me, trying to break into my house. And he had his wife, a 5-month-old baby, and a nanny inside. Oh no, you guys are going to go. You guys will not see tomorrow messing with me in that situation. Oh boy, it's over.
Attempted home invasion caught on camera, but the unsuspecting homeowner,
look at my man getting it. Shout out to you.
Winds up pulling a gun on his attackers. I'm Joy Rand.
I'm Michelle Fisher. That homeowner speaking out about the frightening ordeal to Eyewitness News reporter Sophie Flay. She is live in Koreatown with that story for us tonight. Sophie.
Michelle, we spoke to the man who defended himself and his family after two intruders tried to enter his home. He wanted to remain anonymous because this is still an ongoing investigation. Terrifying surveillance video shows a masked intruder with a gun run up to this mid-city man about to walk in his front door. The homeowner pulls out his gun to defend himself, firing shots at the two intruders, quickly entering a shootout.
I guess they decided to try to come at me and come in the house, but I have a 5-month-old baby and a wife, nanny in the house, and that wasn't going to happen. There was nothing in my house that was worth dying for, but I was willing to die for my family.
Hey, I'm hearing the East Coast accent. Could be Boston or Rhode Island, New England, so maybe New York. I'm hearing the East Coast accent, so shout out to him for having the East Coast awareness over there in the West Coast. And really, this should be awareness wherever you go. It shouldn't be about East Coast, West Coast. It should be really a U.S. thing, but definitely worldwide, especially here in the U.S. where you got a lot of this stuff going on, especially in Los Angeles, California. You see my man's home, he has a wall and a gate, okay? Wall and the gate. So it's probably a pretty nice area. But even still, things can happen wherever you are. So don't think that I live in a nice gated community. It won't happen here. It can happen anywhere. Believe that.
There was nothing in my house that was worth dying for, but I was willing to die for my family.
The shootout happened Saturday night around 7:30. The homeowner walks to the front door, grabbing for his keys. Two intruders jump the front gate. One intruder runs up to the front door. The mid-city man throws his tea, pulls out his gun, and starts shooting.
Now, throwing the tea, that was smart because it was probably hot. Okay, take that hot tea. Boom. That's going to kind of disorient you. Now, I get enough time, pull my weapon, Now we're doing it.
I know where I felt someone run up behind me, put something to my back, and then put a pistol to my back, and somebody else run it up.
When shots are fired, the intruders disperse. One fires back, scrambling to hop over the side fence. The other hops over the front gate and runs away. After the attack, the family filed a report with the LAPD Olympic Division.
It's a matter of time before these people are going to get caught. I think they should just pick a new career before they do end up in jail.
We reached out to LAPD Olympic Division.
Somebody said Boston Tea Party. Hilarious.
For more information about the suspects, but did not hear back. Live in Koreatown, Sophie Flay, ABC 7 Eyewitness.
So that's out there in Los Angeles. Shots to my man for holding it down. Nobody got struck. Nobody got shot in the situation. Although there was a shootout, nobody got shot. And somebody said it right there. They were like, if he would have hit one of them, he'd be in court forever over that. And I hope that wouldn't be the case. But Los Angeles, I mean, that's kind of what's going on. Now, let's just talk about this right quick. You have not one, but two armed invaders, potentially. What if they would have tried to break into the house? You see, they could have flanked, they could have done all kinds of stuff. People are saying, hey, ABL, why do you need 30 rounds in your AR-15 or whatever? First of all, don't worry about it. Second of all, I've seen videos where there are more guys than this. 3, 4, 5 guys breaking your home. What are you going to do? If you only have just your handgun or a rifle with 10 rounds in the mag, you're at a disadvantage, especially when these guys have whatever kind of guns they want. These guys got, what they call them, switches. Hold on, I got to show you something right quick. I'm going to show you what these guys have in the streets. This is going to kind of blow your mind a little bit, but not really. So the normie government, they want you to have just 10 rounds in the magazine, regular handgun. And even if you don't have a handgun, you got a rifle, they want you to have 10 rounds in that. Okay. Meanwhile, the guys on the street got stuff like this. Watch this. Look at this. Okay. Now, are you guys seeing this? Are you guys seeing this? First of all, there's so much going on. This is just a regular handgun. And they put a foregrip. They put a grip on it on the front, like it's a rifle. They have an extended magazine, okay, obviously. And do you guys see the most important thing in the picture? Not the blunt wraps, not the grape drink blunt wraps underneath the gun, not that. You have the handgun, the grip, the extended magazine. Do you see the most important thing on the weapon? Look at that right there, a switch. That little button right there, the fun button, that turns your semi-automatic handgun into a fully automatic handgun. All right, that right there is 1,000% illegal. Illegal. If you're in the streets and you get caught with that on you, oh, penitentiary, instantly penitentiary. They want to say 10 rounds in the mag, no switches, and that's it. And imagine if you got 5 guys that's 16 years old, high on drugs, and they all got this same weapon. What are you going to do if all you have is 10 rounds in the magazine and that's it? What are you going to do? Listen, if it's me, if I had guns, you know, I don't have any guns anymore. Bought an accident. It was tragic. Kids were crying. It was a mess. Listen, if I had guns, I would have short barrel rifles, 10-inch barrel, 30-round mags, multiple mags. 100-round mag to me is not as mobile. It's clunky. 30-round mag. I have a belt with multiple magazines on it. So if I got a bunch of these hardhead knuckleheads on the grape drink blunts with the extendos, with the switches on the back and the grips on the front, if I got them coming into my house, hey, I'm John Wick. Let's do it. but I don't advocate any kind of violence. You know what I say? The best thing would be to leave people alone. I say it all the time. Don't come to my house. Leave me alone. Let's all live in peace and love. But some guys don't want peace and love. Some guys want problems always. They want problems always. This is what they want. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That will help me out tremendously. And we got a lot more. I want to find this meme right quick. Then I'll keep on rocking and rolling. Yeah, but we got a lot going on here. Like I say, let me get the belt with the magazines is already loaded. So if 130 round mag gets depleted, drop that, pop another one in, and we back in business. All right, what else we got going on? Me as an equalizer, I'm not really. To see me as an equalizer might be almost as bad as seeing Queen Latifah running from the explosion. I don't know if you want to see ABL as an equalizer. Now, I think I might do a teeny bit better than Queen Latifah as an equalizer, because that was crazy to see her running from the explosion. Like, what in the world? What in the world was that all about? That was a crazy mess. Hold on, I gotta find that clip right quick. Oh yeah, this right here. This was a mess.
Say hello.
Let go of me.
Hold on.
Who the hell are you?
Neighborhood watch.
Maybe you should mind your own business.
I tried.
It's like, come on, man. Queen Latifah, really? Crime fighting? Come on, man.
Benefits don't help them. Super bad. When I can't sleep, it's not because of all the things I've done. It's because of all the people I couldn't save.
Now watch this.
Do you really think
like, what in the world? What are we doing? Running from an explosion? Come on, man. Like, and that wasn't even the main thing, because in the video I saw, she ran from the explosion and did the Power Rangers dive. It's like, ma'am, really? You running from the explosion and diving like you trying to be aerodynamic, man? Cut it out. Cut the nonsense. Hollywood is a mess. Hollywood is completely dumb. Completely dumb. Oh, I saw one trailer that I like of a movie coming up. I'm gonna try to play some of this trailer. You guys might like it. This is funny to me, actually. This is very funny. This video, well, pardon me, the trailer is for a movie called American Fiction. And to the studio of the movie, don't give me no copyright. I mean, come on, we just trying to promote you a little bit. So I may stop it here and there because it might try to be stupid. All right, let's watch this. Now, I guess the context is that the guy that you're going to see right here is an author, and he's trying to write books that are smart, but obviously that's not really what he's going to be able to do to have success.
What really struck me was that too few books were about my people. Where are our stories? Where's our representation?
Would you give us the pleasure of reading an excerpt?
Yo, Sharonda, girl, you be pregnant again? If I is, Ray Ray's gonna be a real father this time around. Thank you.
The cheers from the crowd for that ignorant nonsense are crazy, but let's keep on going.
Monk, your books are good, but they're not popular. Editors, they want a black book.
They have a black book. I'm black, and it's my book.
I gotta pause it at certain times because copyright.
You know what I mean.
Look at what they publish. Look at what they expect us to write. I just want to rub their noses in it.
I'd be standing outside in the night.
Deadbeat dads, rappers, crack. You said you wanted black stuff. That's black.
Yeah, that's black, right?
Right?
I see what you're doing. We sold your book.
No.
We believe Mr. Lee has written a bestseller.
It's a joke.
So basically, here's what happened. If you're having a hard time following, and for the people that are watching or listening audio only, what happened was he was told to write a quote unquote black book. So he wrote something that was just pure, just ghetto nonsense, just stereotypical bull BS. I didn't cuss, it's BS. So he submitted it to the publisher and he's like, we sold it. He's like, are you for real? It was a joke. But he's like, no, we sold it.
The most lucrative joke you've ever told.
Now, is Stag a pseudonym?
Yeah. Mr. Lee can't use his real name.
Is this based on your actual life?
Yeah, you think some bitch-ass college boy can come up with that shit?
No, I don't.
Can I ask what you were in for? Was it murder?
Yeah, you said that, not me.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you, a lot of these rappers and guys like this on TV, that's how they are. That was Tupac. That was Tupac. Tupac was a ballerina in Baltimore, not this thug guy. He was an amazing actor. Most of these guys talk about all this thug, this and that, and the third are complete actors, and that it's not real. It's entertainment.
They ran 300,000 copies.
Your books change people's lives.
They're offering $4 million for movie rights.
Yes! The dumber I behave, the richer I get. This has gone too far.
Stag Arley is still on the run from authorities.
You haven't done anything. It's not like they can arrest you.
Wish I could go back to not selling books.
Is it bad to cater to people's tastes?
People want to love you, Monk. You should let them love all of you.
I got to pause it again for copyright purposes. Pardon me.
There's already so much buzz because of the movie deal.
Michael B. Jordan is circulating.
We want to put him on the cover in one of those scarves, I guess you would call them, tied around his head.
This part was hilarious to me.
A do-rag?
Do-rag, that's it. Do-rag and a tank top with the muscles showing.
That is hilarious. That's probably exactly how it goes. Take your shirt off, put it on the cover, and it'll be this guy right here to tell you to do it. Hilarious.
We call the fire department.
I can't wait for it to come out. That's going to be funny. So yeah, that's going to be funny. And I want to see, you know what I want to see more than anything else? Are the think pieces that are going to come from that. Oh, people are going to be mad. People going to be mad. I can't wait. I can't wait. The controversy, I love it. It'll be just fresh as a pie made with a grandma's love. It'd be delicious. So yeah, Hollywood has some nonsense, but that might be a funny movie. So shout out to, and the name of that movie is called American Fiction. It comes out in December of this year. Hold on, matter of fact, I almost got the best part. Let's rewind and play the end of it because it had one more little joke in there.
We're thinking we can get it out in Hunter Juneteenth.
Oh, hold on. My fault.
Scarves, I guess you would call them, tied around his head.
A do-rag?
Do-rag, that's it. Do-rag and a tank top with the muscles showing.
Something called the fire department.
We're thinking we can get it out in Hunter Juneteenth.
So did you hear that? He was like, hey, it'll come out by Juneteenth. Hey, I can't wait. I cannot wait. And you know what they're going to show is a lot of these marketing meetings and how they go. You know, whenever there's Black History Month, oh, the Juneteenth marketing was crazy. Any kind of pride, anything like that, it gets really woke and really weird. But you got to understand, there's a marketing meeting behind that. It's a marketing meeting behind that, and it'll be some guy like that talking just like that. So then when we see it, we like, what's this cringe nonsense? It's because that's how it's created. Now, the name of the movie is called American Fiction, all right, in December. I'm going to go watch it. That's going to be funny to me. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you hear so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, back up. Walmart Juneteenth ice cream. I'm like, for real? Juneteenth ice cream? What in? How does Juneteenth ice cream taste? What flavor is Juneteenth? I don't understand. It's so weird. It's so totally weird. Now let's keep on going here. Hold on. I got some more videos. that I want to show. Yeah, I got some more videos I want to show for sure. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, we got a whole lot going on actually. Yeah, I got some interesting videos to show. Some things that oh, have you guys heard about MrBeast? I may do a video about this actually. MrBeast. Now, he is, I guess, not in trouble, but people are mad at MrBeast for doing charity work. So here's what happened. So we all know that Africa has a lot of problems, right? With poverty and things of that nature. And what he was doing was going and making wells, water wells. I think he dug or paid to dig 100 wells in Africa. Now, apparently the Kenyan government got mad because basically what he was doing was highlighting their incompetence or inability to provide for the citizens. But it's like, hey, like, should I not do this? Should I just not dig the wells? Should I just let people not have access to this water because you guys don't want to get shown up? Is that what I should do? Let me put it on the screen right quick, and then we'll keep on rocking and rolling. All right, y'all give me a moment, and we're going to load that right on up. And I got a few more videos on my show before we get to calls in a minute. So y'all just hang tight for me. All righty. There we go. So let's pull it up here. There we are. MrBeast. MrBeast, of course, is really big YouTuber. Probably the biggest on the platform next to PewDiePie, guys like this.
100 wells we're going to build in this video. Oh, water! Oh, crap! You just witnessed a small village in Kenya get access to unlimited clean drinking water in less than a second. One down, 99 more wells in Africa to go. You're going to love this video. Combined, these 100 wells are going to give around 500,000 people fresh water to drink. And after building some more wells on this side of Kenya, we flew south to the school system of Nairiri. And let's just say they were really happy to see us. How's it going?
The whole hood came out, dressed, ready to go. All the school kids, everybody in uniform, ready for MrBeast to come through and dig a well. People are upset. The government of Kenya, they're upset. You're showing us up. You can't really provide for our people. You're making us look bad. A lot of normies, a lot of white liberals, black liberals, they're upset. Oh, he's making videos on it. He's profiting from it. Look, I don't care if he makes a video, a documentary, a movie, a tell-all book. I don't really care because at the end of the day, he's digging the wells and he's not charging no money for it. So, I mean, what you want him to do? How much would that cost if you were to have a company come do it? Obviously, it'd be a lot of money because they hadn't done it yet. So obviously it wasn't going to get done if he didn't do it, or at least somebody had to come and do it. So what's the problem? This should be considered an act of great generosity and charity. It shouldn't be seen as anything else other than that. 25-year-old YouTuber decides to go and make a positive video. You see, you know what? I'm gonna let it continue, but there are so many fake things online, so many skits, so much degenerate nonsense, OnlyFans, things of this nature. Here's this young kid, 25 years old, digging wells for kids in crippling poverty in Africa, and it's a problem. Ridiculous. But hey, man, that's 2023 for you. People are so ungrateful and triggered and butthurt over nothing. They're mad at the wrong thing. But I'm getting triggered, so I digress.
Not expecting this. Thank you for the welcome.
Hold on, there was a sign right there. We love you, MrBeast team. So the kids in Africa, everybody got on the uniform. We love you, MrBeast team. All right. But some white liberal in San Francisco and some apartment with a crackhead outside doing a cha-cha slide is right now angry writing the think piece. They're writing the think piece talking about how he's exploiting these people. They're saying, thanks, appreciate the water. We can use that. We're like in crippling poverty. Thank you for the water, MrBeast.
Thank you for the welcome. I'm not sure how to react. I appreciate it.
Yeah, they calling him the white savior. That's what they're saying. I don't care what he is. He could be the white savior, the blue savior, the pink savior, the black savior, the green savior, the red savior, whatever. At the end of the day, should he not do it? Should he just not dig the wells because he's quite a white man? I don't care.
It, everybody. This village threw a welcome ceremony upon our arrival, and Nolan got really into it.
Nolan's the most awkward person I've ever met, and that's a lot coming from me.
And after being shown around the school...
Here comes our guest.
How's it going? Are you having a good day? It's nice meeting you.
One of the teachers showed me where the students currently get their water, which is from this river. That's extremely unsafe to drink.
This is where your students used to get water from?
Yes.
This is crazy.
Yeah. You know, students complaining of diarrhea, infections like typhoid, because this is the water we've been using. So we try to treat, but you see, look at it, you know, but at the end of the day, life has to move.
Look at this. That's the water right there. That's their water. I mean, come on.
You have to get some water anyway.
This situation is obviously extremely sad. These children's lives are being limited and sometimes cut short from being forced to drink unsafe water. But at least for the...
Hey, why's he got to film it? I mean, that's how he makes money, because you got to pay for it. And he's probably going to make less on the videos than he does by going over there to dig the wells. So I'm saying, my thing is, look, I don't care what he does. He can make a movie, a documentary, a tell-all book, a Netflix series, whatever. I don't particularly care, because at the end of the day, look at what he's doing. 100 wells, and ain't nobody else doing it. The government over there is not doing it. Oprah's not doing it. The Rock's not doing it. Ain't nobody doing it.
This village, we're going to put an end to it right now.
I don't think this John's going to fit. I'm a big head. Let's see if we can find some water.
It is raining! It's beautiful!
After the water comes out of the ground, it's fed into enormous barrels like this one. And once they're built into the water towers, all of the neighboring villages will not only have clean drinking water, but a pressurized water source as well. Which, in short, means no more doing laundry and unsafe water.
And pull! On a scale of 1 to Nolan's mom, how heavy is it?
Nolan's mom times 2!
Oh, God.
Dude, I'll push you off of this.
All right, here we go. Under control. We built 20 more wells in Kenya, and after we were done...
So there you have it, MrBeast, doing very good work, charity work out there in Africa, and people are upset. Let me see if I can find one of these little think pieces right quick to give you an idea of what people are talking about. All right, hold on. Here we go. Here's something from Deseret News. It says, MrBeast criticized as white savior by charities over latest video. Oh, and this is an older one. The other video was adopting an orphanage. Okay. So building orphanages and digging wells, these things are just bad because he's a white guy and he shouldn't be doing it. Right. So maybe if he paid me to do it, if he paid me to go out there and do it, then that'd be better. But then I'd be a puppet. So then I'd be just the black face of white supremacy. I guess that's what that is. So being the black face of white supremacy means that I'm funded by a white guy to go and help Africans. Okie dokie. I mean, hey, that's 2023 for you. I guess it's better for people to suffer than to be helped by someone because of the color of their skin, right? Or because they made a video on it and they made some money from it. How else are they going to make money? You know what? I could be like Bill Gates, right? I could be like Bill Gates and go give vaccines and whatnot to the kids in Africa. That's better, huh? That'd be a better situation than to dig wells. Anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, I got some more videos I'm gonna play. Then we're gonna get to the calls. Have you guys seen this meme from your man, Volodymyr Zelensky? Let's check it out. Oh, in context, he was asking, I guess, the U.S., other nations to help with some more money. I guess some coffers running low. Hey, we got the new war going on in Israel, right? That's the new hot thing. That's the new hotness. Israel, Hamas, that's the new hotness. So our attention, resources, and everything is going over there. Ukraine is like an old toy that got discarded, right? So he was going on TV saying, hey, can we get a loan? Can we get something? Please help us, huh? Now, watch this meme that they made from my man. They got him in front of the gas station, like one of these dope fiends out there in Baltimore asking you for $5.
If you can't give us some financial support, okay, please, give us a credit. If you can't give us some financial support, okay, please, give us a credit.
So he's saying, hey, if we can't get the money, like just straight off, just give us, just let me hold $5 until Friday. How was saying go? Can I get a hamburger today for $1 on Tuesday? Y'all know how it goes. No, I'm butchering the saying, but that's pretty much what he's saying. And I say, no, sir, we're not going to do credit. We're not going to do loans. We're not going to do anything. I don't think we should be funding any of these foreign wars at all. All right. That's not really what I'm about. And I still got beef with you, sir, for coming to the White House in your pajamas, basically trying to get billions of dollars. I'm not a fan. Be a little bit more grateful. Take a trip to Men's Warehouse, Jose Bank, or somewhere. Matter of fact, you are the same size as Pete Buttigieg. Wear his suit to the White House. Y'all could just switch clothes. Okay, wear his husband's outfit to the White House and have that be that. But anyway, I digress. Let's keep on going. Now, here is a video about how the rent market is going. Let's check this out.
This rental market kind of feels like the most discouraging thing I've ever experienced. Let me go back and paint a better picture for you. I'm pushing 30. I finally landed my dream 6-figure career. I've got a decent financial footing and I get a sick apartment. But then this happens. This here represents a near $1,000 increase in my rent.
So his rent went up to $2,792 a month. All right, for his apartment.
Over 2 years, with some brand new fees that they decided to slap right on top. So naturally, I have to look around and find a new apartment because I can no longer afford where I currently live. But I keep noticing these new luxury apartment buildings literally everywhere. But 1-bedroom apartments are starting at $2,500. And this is not a special case. Here's another example, and this one's not quite as new.
Now let's pause for a minute. And the reason why I'm showing this is because you got your man asking for more money to fight that war between Slavic peoples, Russia, Ukraine, same people, Kiev, Ukraine, same people. Anyway, he wants billions of dollars from us. Meanwhile, you got guys making 6 figures that having a hard time paying for their apartment. Look, do you see these prices? Okay, this one right here, A11, 1 bed, 1 bath apartment, 878 square feet. It's going for the low $2,731 to $2,771. Okay, $2,700 US American dollars for an 878 square foot apartment. And you know that these new apartments, so-called luxury apartments, are cheaply made. They make these apartments in 2 months. You're going to have all kind of problems in 1 year. It's like we're getting to the point of Chinese tofu construction. This is like what happened in Atlanta with the Pipe-Mageddon. The Pipe-Mageddon happened where a lot of the pipes bursted in Atlanta when it got very cold. And the pipes bursted in the newer buildings. Luxury high-rises, all kind of stuff had their pipes burst. Why? They were so cheaply made, the pipes were not insulated. It's Atlanta. It's not going to get that cold, but it did get that cold, and the pipes burst, and there was chaos. The older buildings had the pipes insulated because they weren't cutting corners. Okay. This right here is much more than my mortgage. My house is 2,800 square feet. I got a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, and I pay much less than that for my mortgage. An apartment, $2,700, 1 bed, 1 bath.
It was built about 3 or 4 years ago, and 1-bedroom apartments start at $2,489. And that's just the minimum. So now I have no choice but to move 45 minutes further away from my job. And it's so similar to the housing market. I don't know how people my age are supposed to keep up with what's happening. And the same story holds. Wages are not able to keep up with this increasing cost of living. But as I've said before, I'm not going to let this current circumstance dictate the way I live. I'm going to put my head down and I'm going to make some more money because I deserve to live a certain way.
Now, the guy says he makes 6 figures. I don't know where he lives. That's a good question. If it's California, forget about it. That's probably not California. That could be Atlanta, Georgia, or Dallas, Texas. That could be any like kind of regular city in the Sun Belt. It could be Atlanta. That might be Atlanta prices. That's kind of close to it. It's probably a little bit higher than ATL. And if you're living in Atlanta, you could do better than that and not live that far away. So I don't really know where that is. Do I need a roommate? I do not want a roommate. Never, never, never. Okay. I was the only child growing up. I like to have my space. You know, don't need no roommates, but shout out to you, boss. That's a very good question. I don't really know where he is. But that could be, this right here could be anywhere USA. You see how these are? That could be anywhere. There's a lot of space out there, so it could be kind of a southern city. Probably not in like not San Francisco at all, not anywhere like that. Probably in a southern city. Yeah, like somebody said it right there. That could be any major city, for sure. Let's keep on going here. I got a few more, and then I'll wrap it on up and get to the calls. All right. Now, what's going on at Chase Bank? They don't accept cash payments. What's going on with this?
Customer service. When somebody lives 130 miles away.
Or we can take either cashier's check, money.
I know. I tell you, when I walk out of this damn bank, I'm going to get on Twitter. I'm going to blast the hell out of JP Morgan for not taking cash at a bank. That's the most stupidest thing I've ever heard. Do I feel that way? That's crazy. It's crazy.
So a little bit of context for those who can't see or who couldn't see the beginning. He's trying to pay for something, make a payment at the bank in cash, and they're not taking the payment. At a bank. He's trying to make a payment at a bank in cash and they're refusing to take the cash.
He walks in, the customer gets cash, and you won't take it. And you won't make an exception.
I'm going to leave the building or I will call the police.
Lady, I don't care who the you call. This is ridiculous not to take cash.
It is Chase. It's not me personally. I appreciate you not yelling at me like that.
Yeah, but you have the ability to do customer service. Why can you not take a $50 bill?
I can just tell it to you. Okay, let's see. Lose me like 100 or 200.
So it does have to be checked.
I asked to print it, but I don't know.
So are you hearing this? Says they got to track where all cash comes from? Huh? What?
So if my mom walks up with a $50 bill, you're not going to take the cash from her? Customer service.
That's crazy. That's totally crazy. You can't take cash at the bank? Huh? Yeah, you guys are funny. Talking about some sugar, you got the whole bag. Yeah, you got a whole you got some granulated sugar going on. Definitely get a whole bag of that granulated sugar. All right, one more video, then we're going to get to the calls. Now, shout out to this teacher. This could be a skit because, you know, with the way the internet is, sometimes things are real, sometimes they're not real. It's kind of hard to tell, but I thought it was funny. Let's check it out. The teacher had enough of his students acting the fool.
Put this up here. Stop!
It's totally slay. You're being ossified.
This is not slay. This is stupid. I don't want to see any more of this.
That's rude. Don't call us stupid.
Don't call you stupid.
Yeah.
This kid's wearing a hoodie when it's 115 degrees outside. And you're telling me not to call you stupid. Kai failed her driver's permit test 3 times. The permit test. Destiny, you tried to make Rice Krispie treats for the bake sale and you tried to melt the Rice Krispies. Give me a break. Don't call you stupid. Put this up here. Stop.
So shout out to the teacher. I bet all of that he said was on his mind for a very long time. It was on his mind for forever. So he was like, you know what? I'm going to let it all out. I'm going to just let it all out right now. You wearing this hoodie? It's 1,000 degrees in here. What's going on? So shout out to him. Hopefully he doesn't get fired. If that was a skit, then it's a skit. But if not, hopefully he doesn't get fired and keeps his job because he is all the way 100% honest. Was it a skit? Probably so. That's the way the internet is now. You know, everything's a skit. Everything is a skit, and it kind of sucks. That's why a lot of times I don't even show that kind of stuff, but sometimes it's just still funny. All right. But a lot of these things, like this right here, like this was not a skit. This was dead real. And this guy that shot the protesters, his name is Kenneth Darlington, a lawyer and a professor, 77 years old. That face right there says, I've had enough. That face says, I have had enough. I'm not saying he's justified in what he's doing. Don't get it confused. Don't say ABL trying to promote violence. Don't say that. But look at his face. I'm old. This is ridiculous. I've had enough. All right. Now, hopefully my man does not bring the blicky to the classroom because that's not very safe. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Somebody says George Lucas has lost it. I'm done. You guys are funny, man. The chat, you guys are hilarious. If you like the video, if you like what you're hearing so far, give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. We got super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to the calls. Thank you to David W. who says, what would this country look like if the left put as much effort into our country's debt, drugs, border, and homeless problems as they do going after Trump? Very good question. You know, put all the energy where it should go rather than just trying to get one guy out the way. Thank you to Lothair who says San Francisco sounds like a nightmare in a third world country. Exactly. Thank you to Kelly K who says supporting the best live stream on the internet. Thanks, ABL. Thank you for your support and your very kind words. Most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Angel Rivera who says, hey, ABL, the abortion of millions while allowing millions to cross the border is convoluted. You know what? I'm right there with you, man. I am right there with you, 100%. Thank you to Lothair who says, in Kentucky, nobody likes Andy Bashir and Daniel Cameron. They're very corrupt and nobody likes them. Even MAGA people would agree with me. All right. Well, hey, that's what you're saying. Also, breaking into somebody's house, just another form of Darwinism. It's no different than the idiot walking across the street without looking both ways. Mess around and find out. That's right. A Rebel Without a Reason says they want to keep underdeveloped countries underdeveloped. Exactly. That's the whole thing with MrBeast going to Kenya. It's like, hey, I'm trying to help. Don't help. Don't help people that say they want help. Don't do it. Think of the Lothair who says haters going to hate. People hate on him because they think he's doing it only for the clout, but he's actually good clout, unlike some YouTubers. MrBeast is a cool dude. I mean, look, regardless of whether it's a nefarious purpose or not, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the wells are being dug. So the people are able to benefit. All I really care about is the people benefiting. There's no strings attached. Look, I'm recording myself, digging the wells. You got the wells. I'm out. That's it. It's not like China where they try to steal stuff from you, all this and that and the third. China would dig the wells, but then they went half of your land. They want to try to move in and colonize. He's not doing that. He's going to dig the wells, make sure everything's working right, and be on his way. That's it. It's simple. Thank you to Bina for gifting 5 ABL memberships. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to Monique Price for the keep it up emoji with the workouts. I appreciate you for that, most certainly. And let's go ahead and get into some of the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And there's also an email for Skype in the description. If it doesn't work right, don't blame me. Blame the white man. All right. And shout out to you guys. Again, you guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah, that's right, Rod F. People are jealous. You know, haters going to hate. Haters, that's part of life, really. Haters hating. That's just kind of what it is. You know, it ain't really nothing else to it. Let's keep on rocking here. 859, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, ABL, how's it going, man?
It's all
I was
good,
watching the show, enjoying the show, man. I live in Lexington, Kentucky, so I mean, you know, the whole thing with Daniel Penny and Andy Bashir, man. They're both corrupt. They're both white collar criminals, and there's a lot of history with Daniel Penny being really close with Matt Bevin, and Matt Bevin has
Cameron.
Sorry, my bad. I'm sorry, I'm in the moment. But what I was saying is that there has been in the past Matt Bevin getting in trouble for, like, you know, taking bribes from families for getting, like, their family members who are, like, some of them are known for, like, violent crimes or sex offenses, for, like, releasing them out from partying them out of prison really early. And they commit the same crime again. And then, you know, he, like, Matt Bevin's known for, that's why he, like, stopped running, and that's why he resigned, because of that reason. And then also you got Mr. Penny, Daniel Cameron is really close with him. So, I mean, a lot of people, even the MAGA crowd, are like, yeah, we don't want to associate with this dude. And I do not like Andy. He's somewhat of a bigot, man, because he criticizes and starts attacking Mr. Daniel's race. And it's like, that's really gross. I think the Democrat Party, they really
Hold on. Wait. What happened now? Say that one more time.
Oh, yeah. Andy and one of his staff was attacking actually his race.
What did he say?
What like saying he can't be black because he can't be black and Republican, and you're not really black because you haven't really struggled and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow. That's just, like, some of his staff would say stuff like that, and I'm like,
so was that the governor, or was that one of his staff members that said that?
I think it was one of the staff members.
Okay, well, so we gotta be careful, because we can't say that he said it when it was somebody else that said it.
Granted, yeah, I like I said, I've heard people talk about it, and he hasn't responded back to it about that what happened.
I got you.
Or even corrected it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he would support that as well. He hasn't said anything about it, but still, if somebody said something like that, I would be like, hey, that staff member doesn't represent what I believe in. You know, I would think that. You know, I would think he would say something like that and say, you know, excuse that bad behavior, but he didn't.
Okay.
So you get what I'm coming from. I think both sides, and, like, don't get me wrong, I know plenty of MAGA people who love Trump, but they do not. And I mean, they don't like Daniel at all, or they don't like Matt Bevin especially. They view Matt Bevin as much as, like, you know, as Mitch McConnell. You know, that's how they usually feel him that. But hey, I appreciate the phone call, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, no problem, man. Hey, keep on doing what you gotta do, man. Also, man, I can't wait to see your new channel, bro.
Oh, definitely, man. It'll be here soon for sure.
Fantastic, man. It'd be awesome. Also, I mean, you know, it'd be a cool idea if you did, like, Amazon reviews of, like, certain products.
Well, that's possible if I'm able to have time at a certain point. That's always a possibility.
Oh, I watch plenty of reviews on Amazon, like products or new products from AliExpress or Wish, and it's addictive. It really is addictive, and they get, like, tons of views. And that whole thing was MrBeast, man. Haters gonna hate, man. Haters gonna hate.
Always. That's always the way it is. You do things positive, people are gonna hate on you for being positive. So there's no sense in trying to please everybody.
And people complain about it. Oh, he's just doing it for clout. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's kind of good clout. He's helping people out, even though he's posting on YouTube and be like, hey, look at me. It's still doing a good cause compared to these other YouTubers. Like, you remember that whole thing with, I don't know if it was Jake Paul or Jay Paul, or one of the Paul brothers went to I think it was the Japanese suicide force over in Japan. He found a dead body and poked it with a stick. And I'm like, ugh. But yet he's, like, doing boxing and wrestling now. I hate seeing his face. But hey, thank you for the call, man. Much love.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you. All right. Shout out to the caller, and shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Y'all know the rest. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. All righty. So, yeah, but now I definitely will do another channel for sure. Definitely going to do that. Amazon reviews, it might be a little bit out of my wheelhouse, but and you know, it's a lot of channels on YouTube that get a lot of, YouTube is so big and it's so vast. There's channels that have millions of views I've never seen before. Millions upon millions of views I've never seen before at all. It's just it's a whole new world to me. All right. You guys are funny. I'm reading some of the comments. You guys are funny. But the number to call, 434-658-1220. All right. Let me go ahead and restart Skype right quick. I think I have a problem over here. See, there goes Skype acting up. Got to blame the white man for that. Let's go ahead and restart it and get right back into it. Oh, did you guys know there was a debate tonight? There was a GOP debate tonight. I had no idea. I think I saw something about it right when I started the stream, but I had no idea it was happening until like just now. I had no idea because it doesn't even matter. It's like really irrelevant. Who's watching the debate? Why does the debate matter? Everybody knows. It's so anticlimactic. Everybody knows that the debate is going to be, well, pardon me, the nominee is going to be Trump. Nobody else in the field has a chance. Nobody. It doesn't matter if Trump's going to court. None of that stuff matters. It's going to be Trump. Somebody says, didn't care. Nope. I had no idea. I had no idea what was happening. I might look at some of the clips, but truthfully, it's kind of just unimportant. I want to see if anything was said that matters. Now, what was Trump? Did Trump have a speech or something today? What was Trump? Was there a Trump rally? I mean, now Vivek roasted the moderator at the beginning. Vivek is a very good speaker. Vivek does very well during debates. But there was a rally. Trump had a rally. Okay. Ball Brad, what's going on, Ball Brad? Hey, if you want to do Skype calls, you could do video as well. The email should be in the box. You can call in using that. That'll work. And I don't have any calls at the moment, so you can go ahead and call up. It's good. But yeah, it's video and audio. Or if you just want to do audio, whatever you want to do, it's totally fine. It'll work either way. But the email, that'd be for that. So Trump had a rally in Florida. Over 200,000 views. What was that? Was it on YouTube, Rumble? Where was the views? Okay, I had no idea, but I didn't know about the Trump rally either. But obviously, I think Trump having a rally would be the bigger draw than the debate. If you're going to be interested in what's happening with the candidates, you probably be more interested in watching Trump than the debate. Now, the debate will get watched by some people, but I think that Trump will have the bigger draw. Okay. Now, let me see if I can find the Vivek clip, and then we can watch that while I'm getting some more of the calls in. And it could be Skype acting up, because Skype will do that sometimes. If you're trying to call in and it's not working, it could be Skype. Or it might not be calls. Let me see. So what was the actual line? Oh, I got a call. Okay, let me catch the call and then I'll get back. 315, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Troy from New York.
All right, man. What's going on?
Not too much. I just wanted to comment about that guy that you showed, that older gentleman with shooting people, and that you were commenting about the facial expressions. Like, just think about, he was all the people that are around his age that fought in wars, so these people can act a fool. That's the look he had on his face.
Yeah. You know what? And the guy could be a veteran. I never know what's going on with people. And yeah, that look in his face is most certainly that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you had anybody in your family that was in the military, but you're probably close. Well, you're 10 years younger than me, but people are that were my age, like 50, and like our grandparents and stuff. You know, somebody in your family was in the military.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
like you to this day, you still have respect for that. You know what I mean? And people just don't have that respect.
Yeah, that's, you know, my dad was in the military, granddad. Like, I got a lot of military in my family, and
yep.
I could see them having that same kind of look on their face when people do crazy things like that. Like, if my granddad and dad were still here and they saw some of these people, the climate protesters, all that kind of stuff, I mean, they would be disgusted.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we're all bitching about each other, but you think like all these other countries see this, they're salivating. These people that are soft are complaining about all their rights. You think they got no rights now? They're really going to be screwed.
Exactly.
You know, but yeah, I just wanted to say that, man, and shout out to everyone, all the veterans. I mean, we're sending millions and billions of dollars everywhere, but to them, which is an absolute travesty. We should be embarrassed.
We really should.
Yep. Who cares about what, like, Democrat, Republican, dumb, smart, stupid? Like, I mean, those are the people. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't even have this life. So everyone should always think about that.
Absolutely.
But as always, man, you do an excellent job. Best show on these here interwebs. Have a good night, bud.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye. Peace.
All right, shout out to the call. Great call. But yeah, shout out to all the veterans. Block KMIC, I see what you're saying. You're saying that, okay, thank you, Rebel Without a Reason. I got you right here. Let's go ahead and throw it up. All right. Y'all give me a second. You're going to put the clip up on the screen. Here we go.
You think the Democrats, and we've got Kristen Welker here, you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go.
Mr. Ross.
This is how we get our country back. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor Christie. Why you?
That was very good. Very, very good. Vivek, like I said, an excellent speaker. Am I sold on him? I'm not quite sure, but that was good. I mean, give credit where credit is due. That was very, very good. And even Kristen Welker had a smile on that one. She had a smile on that one because at a certain point, they know, they know what's going on. There's no hiding it. They already know what it is. That was very good. Shout out to Vivek for dropping the truth bomb. Big truth bomb on that one. All right. But the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Yeah. Now, has DeSantis faded away? Is it over for DeSantis? DeSantis started off very, very big, but then just kind of faded. Just kind of faded away. So what's going on? Okay, so I think I'm seeing a few clips here. I think that wait. Hold on. I got some breaking news here.
Well, more than 3 months after the Montgomery riverfront brawl, charges have been filed against the riverboat's co-captain. Online court records show Damian Pickett is charged with third-degree assault. CNN is reporting that in a new complaint. One of the original defendants, Zachary Shipman, alleges he was not attempting to fight Pickett, all during an argument over a dockside parking spot. Shipman says he was only defending himself and suffered a bruised cheekbone after Pickett punched.
Wait a minute. So are they charging him? The guy was getting jumped. They're charging him for third-degree assault? No way. If they're charging him, then they got to charge the other guys as well, but he shouldn't be charged.
Punched him in the face. That altercation quickly grew to an all-out brawl, all captured on video, igniting a social media firestorm. Shipman was previously charged with assaulting Pickett and is scheduled to go on trial later this month. He has pled not guilty.
Okay, now, there's so much. I got to do some more investigation on this. I'll probably do a video tomorrow. But if they're going to charge the guy who got jumped, it's like, what? Now, if you charge some of the other people who came in later and were just fighting among each other, that's different. But not the guy who got jumped. Yeah, you got to charge a white man. The chair guy may be him, but not the guy on the not this dude on the ground. Wait a minute, not him on the ground with the exclamation mark. Not him. What? That's crazy. I'm gonna do some background digging into that and see what's happening. I mean, the video is pretty clear. He got hit first. Look, he's just talking, and then he got hit. That's crazy. Skype caller, who am I speaking to?
Oh, hey, ABL Danny. How you doing, mate?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Thanks again for taking my call. Really appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Yeah, so I've got to quickly talk about the California man, when he was the little shootout with the home invaders.
Yeah,
that was a close call, man. I mean, it was lucky he had a tea or coffee in it, because that looked like that's what sort of made him sort of react and run away at first, didn't it?
Yeah, that pretty much that was like a good distraction, because it probably was hot and it kind of threw him off. That gave him some room to be able to draw his weapon and fire back, because without that, it might have been difficult to do.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the moral of that is just always walk around with a coffee or a tea in your hand, isn't it, I guess? I mean, but yeah, that whole thing of because I watched one of those, Corleone Noir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched one of his videos on it, and he's just breaking down the whole policy with the whole, you can only carry, was it one magazine or was it 10 rounds in your...
Yeah, in California. So in California, you can only have 10 rounds in the magazine, and that goes for a rifle as well. And the rifle, typically, you have 30 rounds in the magazine, but in California, you can only legally have 10.
Wow. So situations like this just prove how that's just not going to work. I mean, because I think he shot, was it 8 rounds? So he shot 8 rounds, had 2 left, and then so obviously they jumped the wall, right? But again, it's great it worked out like that and he didn't come back. But what if they just decided to have, what if they decided to come back for seconds? What if there's like, look, let's jump back over. He's got 2 left, and they're obviously probably got a couple of magazines or switches or whatever it is, which is like fully automatic handguns, right?
Yeah,
it's insane.
That's right.
So what if they decide to come back? Then he's screwed, right?
Yeah, he's pretty much. He might have to go try to reload, try to find some more magazines, but that can happen in a very short period of time. So he didn't have that much time. It's definitely a problem.
So if he did if the homeowner, if he did have another magazine on him or whatever, and he did say reload that and then shoot those rounds, and if he didn't kill any of the intruders or didn't. Or did or whatever, like would he have got like serious time for that? Would he have got sort of arrested and charged? Like,
it's hard to tell, because California, it can be different depending upon the situation. They might try to say, like, if he shot one of the guys as they ran away, or you shot him in the back. It all depends on the laws out there. I'm not really sure. It's from state to state, it's different. Now, where I live in Tennessee, I don't think that would be a problem, but California, you never know.
Well, yeah, I mean it's just, I guess it's just, I don't know why that Democrats. I mean, you almost think that they have, when they look at situations like that, you think, oh, like their heart's in the right place. They want to protect people and help people, but I don't know how. I don't think that's obviously like the situation for them. I just think they're just extremely evil. And they obviously, again, they just want to leave it out to criminals to go out and I guess just take advantage of people, right? I mean, I don't know what, because again, you just look at stories like that, and it's very common sense, isn't it? That the people need to be armed to fight back against it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the way it should be. And it's simple, self-defense. That should be, it should be open and shut case. You go into your house, you're trying to go inside, you got two guys hopping your fence, armed, trying to home invade, trying to harm you, trying to steal something from you. Defend yourself, and then that should be it. If these guys live, die, whatever, doesn't matter, you defended yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that's just nature, isn't it? That's just human beings. I mean, like, if someone's a threat and someone's willing to hurt you or take your life, I mean, your government shouldn't be making laws to sort of, you know, handcuff you and to handicap you and make your life more difficult than it should be. I mean, you should be making laws to sort of not incentivize criminals to actually go out and do wrong, to go out and commit evil and do stuff. I mean, because it doesn't matter. Human history has always had horrible people and evil people going out there to try to take advantage of vulnerable people. It's always going to be there, right? It's never going to go away. Just like with school shootings and mass shootings here and there, it's like people say, you know, these Democrats are like, oh, more gun control, more gun policies, put up more signs on the street to say no guns allowed here. Like that's ever bloody worked. I mean, you just have to have armed security in places that's needed. And look, it might not be perfect, it might not work every single time, but it's gonna prevent majority of them, and that's what you need. It's better than nothing, right? It's better than what you have now, which is, you know, in those blue states, which is just everyone's vulnerable and you have nothing. So, but what do I know, man? What do I know?
Right on.
But yeah, thanks again, ABL, for my call. Great show tonight. Shout out to everyone. Appreciate it, mate.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, take care, mate. See ya. Bye.
Great call. Shout out to my man for the great call as always. Now, okay, I have an update about that whole situation with the captain, or the co-captain, pardon me. So I'm on the shade room. Don't judge me for it, but I'm reading this right here. Let me put it on the screen right quick. Let me get back to the calls. It says, black co-captain involved in Montgomery brawl reportedly charged with third-degree assault. And then it says the co-captain involved in the Montgomery brawl was charged with third-degree assault. This comes 3 months after the viral incident that occurred on August 5th. 4 individuals were charged and arrested for assaulting Pickett. Court filing labeled Pickett as a victim in the case. So the co-captain is Pickett, but he was also charged. And he was charged and labeled as a victim. All right, Alabama, let's tighten up. 4 individuals were charged with and arrested for assaulting Pickett. Court filing labeled Pickett as a victim. Richard Roberts, who Pickett identified as the main attacker, pled guilty after accepting a plea deal in the case. He then apologized to Pickett for his actions on that day. 25-year-old Zachary Shipman, another individual charged with assaulting Pickett, said he was simply defending himself and caused Pickett, and they accused Pickett of striking him first. Pickett is due to be arraigned in court by November 21st, 2023. All right, so here's a mugshot. That's the Richard Roberts, and that's the main attacker. All right, and here are some more guys that got charged. And then a woman, she gets arrested. And then another guy, that's a chair guy right there. All right. Now, really what they should do, I don't know what type of prosecution, what type of rinky-dink things they got going on down there in Alabama, but this ain't it, man. Like, drop this whole case. Like, there's no point. Look, if you're going to let guys get plea deals and give an apology, then throw all of this stuff out. Throw it all out if it's like that. But again, I'm going to do a video about this tomorrow to get down to the nitty-gritty and figure out what's really going on. All right, let's keep on rocking here. Let's go to 904 online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Nicky.
All right, man, what's going on?
Hey, man, good night so far. Good show tonight. I like what that last guy said about putting armed security guards up in places. My wife lives in the Philippines, and last time I visited there was armed guards at almost every single store. There was armed guards at the 7-Eleven. There was armed guards reloading their, or I guess checking their guns in the bathrooms at the mall. and you didn't really see a lot of crime there. So I think that's a good idea. Anyways, I wanted to ask you if you had heard about that hockey player that got killed by taking the ice skate to the neck. I don't follow sports a lot, but when I saw that story, it happened during a live game, and he bled out right there on the ice. One guy went up to go kick him, I guess. I don't know if that was just I don't know if he meant to kill him or not, but a lot of people are on two sides. Some people are saying it's murder. Some people are saying it's just accidental manslaughter. But the players that died, his name is Adam Johnson. And I don't think I've ever seen anyone get killed on a sports field before. I just wondered if you heard about that.
Yeah, I saw the video. I heard about what happened. It was pretty gruesome. Now, I can't really tell. I don't want to put it out there and say that the guy did that on purpose, but he may have. I can't really tell. If he did do it on purpose and there was a pattern of this kind of behavior, because I read that this guy had some issues before and he was kind of a dirty player. If they can prove that he did this on purpose, like if they see the video, because I don't know anything about hockey. I don't skate. I can't rollerblade, ice skate, or anything like that. So I don't know the dynamics of it. I don't know if that would ever happen naturally or not. So if people who know more than me are able to look at it and say that's an unnatural movement, he did that on purpose, then he's got to go, because there's no place for that kind of thing, because you understand you have razor sharp skates and people can be seriously injured like that. And you do something like this and hits him in the neck and he dies. I think at that point, if they can prove now, not just maybe, but if they can prove that he did that on purpose, he needs to go to jail, to prison for forever.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Unless it was somehow ruled an accident, right. It's definitely at least manslaughter.
Absolutely. Yeah. But again, it can go either way. So if they can prove it, that's the key. I don't want to just say, lock him up without having the proof of it being intentional or not.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess final question, and I'll let you go. Have you ever seen any, what's the most violent thing you've seen in the sports that you watch? Have you ever witnessed something as extreme on, I don't know, say football field or basketball game?
Probably when Antonio Brown got hit by Vontaze Burfict. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't watch a lot of sports. I was just curious if you.
Okay.
Yeah. What happened there?
Yeah. So basically, this is football, and this is the Bengals are playing the Steelers. I watched the game live. I'll never forget it. And Vontaze Burfict had a history of doing things like this. I think he was a linebacker, middle linebacker. I'm not really sure, but he hit the receiver Antonio Brown so viciously. His head, it was like a newborn baby without their head being supported. If you were just to roll, it was like that. It was crazy. If you were to take a baby and just roll it by the feet, the head was moving like that. It was crazy. and ever since then, Antonio Brown has not been right. I mean, Antonio Brown might just be walking around naked in the middle of the road. Just obvious CTE from that injury.
Oh, yeah,
that moment right there changed his whole life.
Well, yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Well, no problem, man. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, somebody said it was a good, clean hit. You know what? It could have been, because I remember I watched that game live, and I remember the coach. What was Vontaze? Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. What was Vontaze Burfict? It was a linebacker, exactly. And he hit Antonio Brown. I remember watching the game. The coach was Marvin Lewis. And immediately, as soon as he did that, he goes to the sideline and he's getting tore up by the coach. And he's like this. He was pointing to his shoulder like I hit him with the shoulder. Because at that time, they were trying to crack down on helmet to helmet. It was gruesome. Hold on. Let me just play it for you right quick. And shout out to the NFL. Hopefully they don't try to give me no strike or nothing like that. Let me just put it on the screen. Let me get right back to the calls.
Roethlisberger from the pocket, middle of the field, incomplete.
Now, that right there, you didn't really see it. But they're going to show it again. Okay. The hit happens right there at the bottom, at the left part of the screen.
Middle of the field, incomplete.
Now, they're going to replay it, obviously. But you see Antonio Brown on the ground.
Does come in. Went to the head. Lewis Harris is going to be flagged for
right there. He's concussed, CTE, all of that. Ever since then, and Vontaze Burfict was known to be dirty. Everybody knew he was dirty.
This on the hit on Antonio Brown.
See, look, and then I remember that moment right there. I watched this game when it happened. I was watching it literally. And there goes the coach, Marvin Lewis. Here goes Vontaze, and he's going like this because he's saying, "Hey, I hit him with the shoulder." Because at that time they were trying to crack down the helmet to helmet. Helmet to helmet was causing a lot of CTE and everything like that. He says, "Nah, the shoulder." See, look, watch.
On the hit,
see,
on Antonio Brown, and it's going to put the Steelers in field goal range. Burfict was in there too.
So they're gonna show it again. Let me see if I could just fast forward to that moment.
Started.
Now watch.
Was talking on the sideline the whole time. It seemed like to Vontaze Burfict, and yes.
Oh my goodness.
You see the way his head moved? Like, that's what I say, like a newborn baby. It was like that. If the newborn baby's head's not supported and it would just fall, that's what his head did. That right there, it changed his whole life. Watch this. So what wound up happening after this is called you cannot make a hit on a defenseless receiver. So if you're trying to catch the ball and you have to wait to brace yourself or defend yourself, you can't have a Vontaze Burfict hit you because you have to wait to brace yourself or defend yourself. You're vulnerable in that situation. And there was no ball. There was no reason to actually tackle him, you see. But again, Vontaze was dirty like that. So let's watch it one more time.
Brown is still down.
That's, of course, flagrant.
So he hit him with the shoulder, but he hit him in the head with the shoulder. So, oh boy, that was rough.
Control. Out of control. It's going to be everything. That's going to be suspension, fine.
That was rough. That was probably the worst one I saw on the field. I watched that live. Now, of course, there have been worse things happening on the football field, basketball court, or whatever. I saw one game where Paul George broke his leg. That was rough. I mean, it was like a twig. It went like this. I saw that. I saw a young man in college break his leg as well. That was rough. Yeah, but that one, now, he did not actually get fired. He was still in the league after that. He still played more because although he was very dirty, he was a very talented player. He still played in the league after that. He was on the Raiders. He went to the Raiders after that. And I think he actually played with Antonio Brown on the Raiders. Crazy enough. I mean, it was, man, oh man. I've seen some stuff. But also another guy that was dirty was Ndamukong Suh. But Ndamukong Suh was so good, they couldn't just get rid of him. Yeah, and that's how a lot of the bad behavior in the NFL. And you know what? This is part of the reason why when there's so much pearl clutching on certain guys, I'm like, man, please. A lot of these guys in the league, they do all kind of crazy stuff. And they still keep their jobs. All right, let's keep on rolling here. 949, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hello?
Yes.
Okay, hi there. Okay, I'm going to add to the story he showed about the rent. The guy saying he can't afford it. Well, I can top that about the same square footage. My next door neighbors, the people just moved in a few months ago, and it's a house built in 1960, 860 square feet, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, tiny little garage, and they're paying, get this, $4,800 a month.
Oh my
I'm not
goodness.
kidding.
Where is this?
Oh, well, I'm in Orange County, California.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm not even
4,000.
kidding. And they're tiny. There's tiny little freaking houses that, apartments are about the same size or even bigger. Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it?
I mean, at that point, I don't even know. I would refuse. At that point, I would live in my.
I know.
I would live in my car to protest. Like I refuse to pay that kind of money.
I know. I kind of wish they would have just let it go, and then they'd be forced to drop the rent, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
The owners, they moved to Washington for a little while, and they told me, we're going to try and get the most maximum rent we can get, and I guess they did.
Yeah, I see that. Good grief.
Yeah, but anyway, and I'm going to have to pitch in here for California. I'm going to say the best place in California, if you're going to live here, is Orange County. It really, compared to everywhere else, San Diego, LA, up north, Inland Empire, that Orange County is the best. So if you ever come back, ABL, that's where you need to visit.
Yeah, I'm going there because LA hated it. So Orange County, that's my next destination.
Yes, absolutely. It's beautiful. Oh, and guess what? We're tough on crime. None of this, no. Orange County is very different. You don't want to commit crimes here. You get prosecuted.
Well, that's the way it should be all over the country. So I'm glad you guys are, have some common sense out there.
Yeah. It's the best place to live in California.
Right on.
But anyway, okay, that's all. So good show. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Good night.
Yeah, I wish I would pay $4 for a garage room. You got me all the way messed up. I would never in my life. I mean, please. I would live in my car. I'd rather live in a Toyota Corolla than live anywhere paying that kind of money for rent. $4, please. I would live in a Toyota Corolla with no AC, no heat, no nothing. 215 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Hold on. Nothing much. So basically, ABL, I wanted to talk to you about. I watched your last live stream, and Anna Kasparian. Did I pronounce her name right? Anna Kasparian?
Yeah.
So for her to say we need to legalize drugs, but we need to regulate it. So that made me think, do people forget that reasons drugs are illegal for a reason? And I think people tend to forget why they're illegal in the first place.
Right, exactly. It's not just for no reason. There's a very specific reason. And when you just forget that reason and just let things go on, you're going to get a bunch of other, I guess you would say, unintended consequences.
Yes, and they're probably thinking about all the functioning addicts who can function on drugs, but then you got people who can't function on drugs, they can't hold a job, and there's a reason why they're illegal. Because look what it does to people. Look what it does to their body. People, they say drugs destroy families. Yeah, because a lot of families, they stop taking care of their kids, stop caring for other family members, start stealing, start being violent towards them, probably abusive towards kids so they can get their drugs, stop taking care of the kids, responsibilities, stop paying rent, stop functioning as regular, normal human beings because all they want is the drugs. All they want to do is get high, spend every last bit of their money.
Exactly. It's all kind of problems that are caused as a result. And when the problems come about, they want to try to do other things to fix it rather than getting down to the core of the problem. So they will never, ever fix the problem because it's like, okay, if you have a water faucet running in your house and your whole house gets flooded, you keep trying to mop the water up. It's like, well, turn the water off. Simple.
Yeah. And I seen this one story on this show where this guy, he was a lawyer. I think he was making at least $250,000 a year, but he had a bad drug problem. So what he did was Mind you, he's making good money, $250,000 a year. Had a bad drug problem. So what he decided to do was start breaking into people's homes, start stealing to support his drug habits. And it's like, this guy lives in a nice suburban neighborhood, and you're breaking into people's homes, stealing, committing armed robbery to support your drug habit. I mean, he was a functioning 9-to-5 worker at one point too, till he got on the drugs, and he was just addicted, and it took him going to jail and doing some time in jail and losing everything for him to finally change his ways.
Mm-hmm. That'll do it. You know, once they get the consequence and hit that rock bottom, that'll sometimes make them go the other direction.
Yeah, and honestly, like I said this to myself somebody years ago, way before I even got into politics. It's sometimes you got to hit rock bottom, and then you got to make the choice if you want to go up or you want to stay down.
That's right.
Exactly, and it's all up to the individuals, you know. And for these people who have never lived in these neighborhoods, who have never lived in the hoods, who have never lived with these kind of people, to say we should keep giving them drugs is honestly, they need to watch a lot of documentaries and actually speak to people who have actually lived this kind of stuff before they go out advocating for certain things.
Yeah, they got to understand really what they're talking about and what they're advocating for. People have no idea what's going on out here in this world. They got to really see it for themselves.
And it's amazing. And one more thing I wanted to say is that for all these people who want to talk about climate change, I don't know if I told you this, but they said, I think you might have said this to you last time, but they said, the actual scientists said if all the polar ice caps in Antarctica were to melt at once, it's still not enough water to cover the entire United States. Only certain states would be flooded, like states that's closer to the water, closer to the ocean, the shore. They would be in danger of flooding, but like any other states wouldn't be in danger of flooding at all. So it would still take way more water to cover the entire land of the United States and on planet Earth. It would take way more water than that.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about the water just melting and flooding, it's just a bunch of fear-mongering nonsense that ain't gonna happen. It's really ridiculous. It's silly.
Yeah.
It's just like AOC talking about if we don't do something right now, the world's going to end in 12 years. It's stupid.
It really is stupid. And honest, and I don't mean to take up most of your time, but if you look back to when the dinosaurs actually lived, because I studied a lot of dinosaurs, watched a lot of documentaries, and some dinosaurs, they went through climate change as well too. But some species of dinosaurs went extinct because of volcanic eruption. Mind you, they didn't have all this technology back then, but they still survived. Some species survived through climate change. Some didn't. Some perished during climate change. But mind you, this climate change happened over a course of over 1 million years.
That's right.
So over millions of years, some species perished, some species came about, and it was just back and forth, climate change, or some went extinct, some didn't. So if the dinosaurs can survive climate change, we're going to be fine. There's no end of the world for humanity if climate change comes about. It's just nonsense.
Absolutely right.
All right. Well, thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Have a good night, ABL.
Shout out to the caller. Great call. And shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. 616 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Scotty D from Michigan, the Democratic liberal state of Michigan. But I have an important message for you. I've been noticing that when we're subscribed to your channel, we've been watching you for over a year and just love your show. But I've just noticed just lately that when I click on your icon as I'm watching your show, YouTube keeps unsubscribing me to your channel. And then I'll be resubscribing myself to your channel like daily. So I just thought, and I've noticed it's doing it to some other channels that I watch. So I thought I'd let you know about that because maybe it's happened to other people that are watching you.
Well, thank you for that, man, because, you know, I have heard that before. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a bug or a feature. At this point, I can't tell because it's so many games are going behind the scenes. You just don't know. So thank you for that, man. I hope that stops. I don't really know what's behind that, but I hope hopefully it's not them trying to play games.
What they used to do in the past is when they would unsubscribe me to you, like a year ago, then when you were live, you wouldn't pop up on the YouTube channel at all. So I'd be like, where the heck did ABL go? So I'd have to go search for you, and then there you were live, and then I would notice that I got unsubscribed. And then, but now what it's doing is you still pop up that you're live, but it's still unsubscribing me to your channel if I click on your your little icon dot. So maybe some of your other watchers might want to check theirs and make sure that they stay subscribed to you, because maybe you got more subscribers. They're definitely doing something. I don't know, like you said, it could be a bug, who knows. But just want to let you know, I appreciate your show, and I really wanted to just let you know that because I've been noticing it for about 2 weeks now. So
well, thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate it.
You too. Have a great night.
Same to you.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, I've been hearing about that. Hopefully YouTube not trying to play games. 901, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. It's Zach from Memphis. How are you tonight?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Okay, man. Just a lot. But what things I wanted to talk about tonight was first the Oregon situation out there with them dropping the standards for graduation. So that being the case, they are no longer ever allowed to talk any kind of smack about anybody from the South about how stupid Southerners are if you're willing to drop the educational standards for graduation.
That is
no
100%.
Longer allowed to do that anymore.
that is 100% right. It's like, no, you can't say that because you guys have no standards for reading, writing, arithmetic, or nothing to graduate. If you're from Oregon, you're 100% right.
Yep. So that's a lifetime ban on ever talking about anybody from the South being stupid. So
absolutely.
So the second thing was the incident in Alabama that you briefly touched on earlier. With them, it's just going to just come down to the money. All the courts in that state are interested in is, how much money they can make off of fines and who they think they can get it from. So, that's really all that's about, more than anything else. So, that's just how Alabama rolls. They're interested in the money. And lastly is about that Social Security Administration, because I've seen the video you did the other day where somebody was trying to get off of the disability and was doing everything right, filing, turning in the documentation that they were supposed to do. Well, personal experience, what happened to that person has happened to me too, at more than once. So it happens a lot with them sending the bill and wanting money back that, they claim they should have not paid or whatever. So it's something that happens a lot. And I don't know. Social Security Administration is just one of those government agencies that I would just much rather see kind of phased out. And I have a plan for it, but unfortunately, I wouldn't live long enough to see it fully implemented because it would take that much time to, implement it without, being just a devastating impact on so many people. But I just wanted to touch on that, especially that Social Security Administration, because what happened in that video that you did, it happens a lot. You would just absolutely be shocked. So that's all I got to say for tonight, and great show as always, and take care and have a great night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
You know what? You made a very good point about the whole thing with Alabama trying to get that money. I didn't think about that part. Very, very good point. 773, you know, line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Thanks for taking my call. ABL, I wanted to talk about MrBeast. with digging the wells. Now it does take millions of dollars, okay? But you take one millionaire. This is one YouTube guy that is getting it done. He goes out there, he digs the well. He has the people around him that can accomplish that task. And he gets clean water to these villagers. This is a good example of what happens with our tax money and government money. Everybody wants to be able to set up their own business and have this thriving multi-million-dollar business going. And in order to do these simple things, these simple tasks, not that, bringing water, but leave it to somebody like Oprah, and, millions of dollars would have been pumped into that, area, but the people would have never got the benefit from it. It's all those things around it that benefit from it. It's like, if you recall a few months ago, ABL, or maybe a year ago, whatever it was, where they were trying to build a simple public toilet for the homeless in the street. I think it was in LA or whatever. And it was going to cost something like, $3 million for one simple toilet for, $10,000 or $20,000 worth of material. Then you had a guy come in and he said he would do it for free. And they said it would still cost $1 million because you have all these different commissions that you have to be approved by. Everybody puts themselves in the way of the money. And that's what I mean about, also income tax, and the IRS. Everyone puts themselves in the way of the money. So all that money that's supposed to go towards, arms or, defending something, it's intercepted by all these people that set up this bureaucracy to collect the money, and nothing ever gets done. I think MrBeast is a perfect example that somebody with modest means, I mean, he is a millionaire, but in the scheme of things, he's using modest means, a small amount of money in the scheme of things, and getting it done. They were drinking out of a dirty hole, before, and now they dug down and got clean water. It shows what can be done if you have some practical ideas, and also, more importantly, that you don't let these thieves get in the way and steal it. And unfortunately, that's what's happening with our American dollars. People get in the way and steal the money. And they do it in creative ways. So it's almost like a magic trick. Look what I'm doing with this hand, so you don't see what you're doing with the other hand. I really think somebody should look into stuff like that. Getting things done without being ripped off. And, I don't mind spending, paying my taxes if it's actually being used in a, in a way that's productive. But it's not. It's just being stolen by bureaucracy set up to collect the money. And that's what's happening, these companies. So I'd like to see more things that MrBeast has done, things like that. Let's have some practical, ideas, some practicalness in our government, man. Let's start to take care of things and actually get things done instead of all this talking. And, how is it that our politicians are multi-billionaires? Because most of them are a bunch of thieves. They're a bunch of thieves that are, if you make $150,000, $180,000 as a politician, but you have 9 multi-million-dollar homes, I mean, come on. I mean, what are we doing here? How did you get the money? Where did your money come from? So anyway, that's my 2 cents, ABL. Thanks for taking my call, and thanks for everybody listening to me, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks.
Very good call. As always, very good points made. And thank y'all for being here tonight. That will be a wrap for me. I'll be back live again, of course, on Saturday night, 8 p.m. to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, etc. Link for that will be in the description box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs, on these internets. Thank y'all for being here. Couldn't do the show without you. Thank you for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you're doing. I most certainly appreciate you. I got some super chats right here that I'm going to go ahead and read off. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. And again, I thank y'all for being here on the show. I got more topics coming out tomorrow. I'm going to be putting out videos pretty much every day. So let's go ahead and read some of these here. And shout out to Rebel Without a Reason, who says people who were hating on MrBeast about those wells need to have their own drinking water taken away immediately. That's what I'm saying. It's like, hey, he's literally giving drinking water. What is the problem? Like, what is the actual issue? Thank you to Bina for giving out more memberships and also saying, I was at the Cleveland-Jacksonville game where the crowd started throwing their beer bottles into the field, hitting the crowd below. Players and the refs. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Now, was this at Jacksonville or in Cleveland? I mean, either way, that's crazy. Thank you to Bina again, who says gold plaque for ABL. What's going on, YouTube? Hey, as soon as they let me know, I'll let you guys know. I'm going to try to, they told me no wait, all this and that and the third, but I'm going to try to like press the issue. But I did definitely reach out, and I've just, they told me to wait on a notification that'll be in the back end of my system. But I'm 20,000 subscribers over 1 million. So it's like, what are we waiting on? Must I get to 2 million before I get my plaque? I don't understand. But regardless of what, whenever I get it, I will let you guys know first before anybody else. And thank you to Troy Livingston for your donation. I definitely appreciate you, boss. All righty, that will be a wrap for me. You guys are great. I will see you guys next time. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.